your drama queen, and welcome to the drama castle. Overheard them mention hater, not a pretty word like moist or moisture. Wanna quit, but you know I'm a soldier. Try to get me out, you know it's game over. Say it's toxic, chaotic, unhealthy. Always play my cards right, don't test me. I'm not here to play nice, no I can't be. And if you're trying to stop me, that's a guarantee. Too many people try to get me out, and it worked for a second, but I'm back now, better than ever. Welcome to the drama castle. I am your drama queen, and welcome to the drama castle. You try to stop me, but you can't. Too many people try to stop me, but you can't. You can't.
Blah, 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 felt, sound like Lolcow. Live more like fake cow, more like Lolcows. All that moving on the timeline. You too poppin' when you should be on that move too. Hey, Keemstar, you faker than some glazed donuts. I see your thumbnails, I'm like, that don't make no sense. Boogie fake cancer. Oh, you think we didn't know? I guess he missed the memo. Hey, Becky, I got a question for you. What's the sentence for a falsified crime? If you're innocent, why you dodging all my questions? Hey Michael, where you at, man, where you at? Kid behind the camera, more like kid behind the bars. Kid behind the camera, more like kid behind the bars. Kid behind the camera, more like kid behind the bars. Kid behind the camera, more like kid behind the bars. Man, I should just hop off this app. Everybody lying, what's the point in that? The liars get the love, so I should probably go and lie on the track. They say you should tell the truth, but that ain't true. You gotta keep it fake, it's the only way to break through. It's so much faker than you think it is. Oh, it's faker than you think it is. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Woo, 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 woo. This is getting wild, man. Wild and crazy. Yes, sir. But welcome everybody to the stream. How y'all doing? Hopefully y'all are doing well. Welcome. We got Crazy Cat here. Yeah, I got some call outs there. Don't worry. I got some people I got to call out to outside of this topic. Don't you worry. I didn't forget. Anthony, hello. Andy Rose, I'm in Kramaland right now, but popping in to say hey, and I love you. I love you too. Thank you for taking a break from the Krama to show some love to me. Love you, Andy. Love your bunches. The Crazy Cat over here already starting off with GoFundMe. Yes, help a sister out. Hello, Susan. How are you? Popped in to say hello. Well, hello. What the hell is going on with the internet? Y'all are so. It's Saturday. God damn it! What y'all got going on? It's so important. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, CZB. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for popping in. I love it when everyone pops in. So, if you missed last night's live stream, I did 2 streams yesterday. The last one I did was very late at night. But some accusations had been shed to light. The lights shed to light. I don't know. I'm just talking. But basically what it came down to is I don't know if Wonder Woman was on Lolcow Milkers. Again, I haven't been following it since I left LCU. I mostly get my intel from Reddit and you people who seem to be still glued to the tube of Lolcow universe. So one of the hosts or former hosts, Wonder Woman, went on to Lolcow, Aussie, and had told a story about how a female at fat camp, when they went to fat camp, when they were all together IRL, pulled her into the bathroom, took pictures together with their clothes on, she specified, but then after that was trying to basically get Wonder Woman to take off her clothes. And she said that it was very uncomfortable. And she said that the reason why she did not go to Keem is because she did not want to bother Keem with this situation. However, Xylee had chimed in and said that, well, if you didn't want to bother Keem, you think that, doing this publicly instead of going to Keem would bother him. So a lot of people were giving Xylee pushback. Last night, I basically said, I don't disagree with what Xylee's point was. I will say, though, I don't feel that it was necessary to kind of yell at her about it. But Xylee gonna be Xylee, right? And Xylee is getting a lot of backlash for that. Wonder Woman also addressed it a little bit more on Lolcow Rewind, which we will react to as well. But then today, during Lolcow Cafe this morning, Keemstar went in and gave his 2 cents on the situation. This is a hot mess. Overall, guys, let's just be real. This is just a hot mess. It's a really disgusting hot mess. It's being handled poorly if it's true. And if it's not true, it's just another example of why this entire Lolcow universe thing is just absolutely wild. Like, this whole thing is wild. Because at this point, I agree with what I've been seeing being said is like, dude, at this point, who's to know what's real and fake? That's the sad thing. But that is what Keemstar wanted. He wanted a show that's like WWE. And it's like, that's fine, but these stories are getting a little too crazy. And I say stories because, again, I wasn't there. I don't know, but we're just going to look at it because, it's content, right, Keem? It's content. So the LCU is burning to the fucking ground. And that's another thing, too. Everyone keeps saying that, that lately the Lolcow universe hasn't been doing so well. Again, I haven't seen the numbers. Keemstar is sitting there saying everything's fine and dandy. Again, I don't know. But if it is true that the Lolcow universe is not doing so well, this even makes the timing of all this way more like suspicioso. Very suspicioso. I'm taking all of this with a grain of salt because, again, it's an accusation that is pretty serious. But we've already had a serious accusation come out from the Lolcow universe, aka the Becky Boop SA allegations that I keep bringing up that people keep wanting to ignore. That got swept under the rug, even though they monetized the fuck out of it and then swept it under the rug. So I mean, it's one of these things where it's just like looking at moths burning in a flame at this point. So and I don't know what's real and fake anymore. That's where I'm at. The message was good, the tone wasn't, I feel. Yeah, I'm right. That's what I mean. Like, I think that the message was clear, it was understandable. I'm not hating on Xylee for bringing up that point because it is a valid point. I said that last night when we react to it. It is a valid point. It's just, if somebody's having an accusation, like yelling at them before we get all of that information, probably not the best idea. But then again, I want to like remind everybody, and I like, I didn't want to go there, but at the same time, I feel like I have to. If y'all don't remember, if you guys have been following Keemstar or even Xylee for a while, you might remember the Edwin Generations and Salvo Pancake situation with a female who I will not name because I don't want to bring her back up into this. But I mean, it is kind of, if you know who this person I'm talking about is. And basically what that was is that Salvo Pancakes and Edward Generations went to Keemstar's house because Keemstar was doing the Keemstar show. And they brought this girl with them who was apparently in some kind of relationship with Edward Generations. And she was telling the story about how there was talks of a threesome with Edwin and Salvo Pancakes. I don't know if somebody had mentioned that Salvo Pancakes was bisexual or Edwin was bisexual. Either way, this story blew up. And at the time, it was kind of one of those things where a lot of people looked at it as like, is she making an accusation? Because the way she was explaining is like she wasn't really into it, but she kind of like was like, fuck it, why not type of attitude. I don't know. I just know that when it came to the story, the person in question, the female, the quote victim, was saying like, I'm not accusing them of anything sus. Like, they didn't force me. I'm not accusing them of being predators or anything of that matter. I was just telling the story to tell the story of how like weird the situation was, right? Now, again, when this story happened, I know Keemstar was talking about it because it happened at his house. And then of course Xylee talked about it, and that whole thing was a mess. Like I said, these situations are really fucking weird, because it's like I feel like a lot of these people just tell the story because, like, at this point it's like, same with Becky. Why are you telling these stories if nothing actually criminal happened? It's like, what is the point? Who cares what happens between consenting fucking adults? I don't give a fuck if consenting adults are having fucking furry parties. I don't fucking care. Like, I just don't care. Like, sure, we could point and laugh, but at the same time, it's not that deep to make it like this whole thing where it's like, these people are creepy. Look at them. Are they consenting adults? Did anyone get harmed? No. Why the fuck is this news? That's where I'm at with a lot of this shit. Right? But when it comes to this specific topic, and the only reason why I brought up that situation is because a lot of people are bringing up that situation, especially with Xylee going off on Wonder Woman as she did. A lot of people are bringing up that situation with Salvo Pancakes and Edward Generations and how Xylee handled that situation. So it's like, again, holy shit, man. Why do we have to keep having these conversations about sussery? Why is everyone just sus? Okay, we got Lunchbox apologizing. That's very nice. That's very nice. I don't really follow it, but I think I heard Xylee talk about it. Yeah, that happened a while ago. And again, it's kind of crazy how all this shit seems to happen at fucking Keemstar's house. Also, happy Memorial Day. Speaking of Memorial Day, this came across my eyes. Hold on for a second. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Pause. This came across my eyes today. Becky showing some love for Memorial Day weekend, guys. And this is funny, and this is why I say this shit's always scripted. I don't know why anyone would want to portray themselves as a fucking scummy person like this, but here we fucking are. So for Memorial Day, hold on, it's loading. For Memorial Day, guys, Becky Boop decided to go after Ken, who is the host of Lolcow Cafe. Hold on, is it not loading? Give it a second. Let's give it a second to load, y'all. Okay, there we go. Becky has issues with Ken from Lolcow Cafe. Ken is a veteran. Okay, he is a vet. He served, right? And this is what Becky decided was the thing to do on Memorial Day weekend, y'all. Let's take a listen.
And then I finally respond saying something along the lines of, clearly his PTSD is kicking the fuck in if he's that triggered about me. And then he cries about it. Well, guess what, Ken? I don't care that you served the country and got PTSD. Wrong time to cut me off, goddamn. And then I finally respond saying something along the lines of, clearly his PTSD is kicking the fuck in if he's that triggered about me. And then he cries about it. Well, guess what, Ken? I don't care that you served the country and got PTSD.
You know what's hilarious about this is I'm pretty sure a lot of people flamed another content creator on TikTok, Twitch. I forget her name. It was like Fraga, something like that. Another TikToker who made comments about our troops in similar fashion, But there's Becky on brand saying the most fucked up shit you can say for fucking clicks and money, because that is exactly what Keemstar wants. Imagine selling your fucking soul like that, bro. Imagine saying some fucked up shit about U.S. soldiers. And there was actually a Reddit post going off about that too, talked about how, like, why do we fucking glaze soldiers? Bro, what do you mean? I don't see y'all motherfuckers enlisting. You do understand that the reason why we respect soldiers, people who serve in the military, is because, believe it or not, even though, yes, some of them do volunteer, right? They do volunteer to go into the military, right? Ask a soldier what it's like to enlist. They're basically giving up their freedom for months upon months to train, to learn how to protect our freedoms. The freedom that you have to say this bullshit, they protected. Now, I'm a firm believer of, just because you have the freedom to say it doesn't mean you have to say it. Just because you have a freedom to burn the American flag doesn't mean you should burn the American flag. You know what I'm saying? But these people are really sitting here acting like, I don't care if you fucking served. Yeah, trust me, Becky, you are way too fucking fat to enlist. They wouldn't even want you. If the fucking country was at war right now and they were desperate for fucking fighters and you raised your hand, they'd take one look at you and say, no, thank you, bitch. Actually, matter of fact, I feel like they put you on the front fucking lines. You can shield the entire fucking platoon. You fucking... Ooh, oh my God, I hate this bitch. God, I hate this bitch. I really can't stand this bitch. But she's Becky, y'all. She's Becky.
She's Becky, Becky. You never really know what she's gonna do next. She's Becky, Becky. I'm a mess. A mess.
I don't have to
it, dick. That's Becky, y'all. You know, now we're in the saga of Becky disrespecting our soldiers, man. That's wild. That's fucking wild. She's Timu Frogan. Yes, that's her name, Frogan. Can't think of the name. You don't have to like war. I don't, but some soldiers will save you. Nobody fucking likes war, man. That's the thing. Nobody likes war. And I saw people when they were talking about how we were glazing the veterans and the soldiers. We haven't been in a war in a long time. We haven't been in a world war, but we have been in wars. We have been in wars. What do you mean? We have definitely been in some wars. That's just because, and here's the thing, I'd rather have a military than not have it. I'd rather have a military when we don't need it than don't have one when we do need it. Okay. You know what's gonna happen the moment we get rid of the military? Some country, who's gonna be first, bro? Which country is gonna be the first one to invade when we disband our military branches? Fuck out of here, man. Y'all people are crazy. The fact that, again, Becky can say the most, and I feel like it's on purpose. I feel like they're pushing the envelope to see how far people will not give a fuck about the fucked up shit that comes out of this fucking Porky Pig's mouth. Like, holy shit. Even when you're not in an active war, we have troops stationed all over the world. Right. But at the end of the day, that's good old Becky. Becky who could do no wrong, y'all. Becky who could do no wrong. I keep fucking up my screen. Becky goes to war every time she tries to pull her jeans up. She don't wear jeans. She wears dresses because pants don't fit her. Pants don't fit her. Anyway, there was that. There was that, y'all. So there we are with that. So let's go to today and see what Keemstar had to say about all this. Actually, no, I lied. Let me put a pin in that one. We're gonna go to Lolcow Rewind so we can hear more of what happened to Wonder Woman, and then we'll listen to what Keemstar had to say this morning. So give me a second to cue that up, because that's something I want to take a look at, because that's man, this whole thing is getting wild. This whole thing's getting wild. But how y'all doing? Are y'all doing good today? Y'all enjoying your weekend? It's really shitty out here. Like, it's really shitty out here. The weather's trash. So let's go to... I'm getting it up now. These fucking ads are kicking my ass. Let's skip here. Let's go to where Wonder Woman comes on. Because I want to hear Wonder Woman, and then we'll hear what Keem had to say this morning. All right, hold on. Okay, Wonder Woman is here. Let's get that up. And then we'll react to this and hear what she has to say about this accusation that she came out with. All right. So here we go. Let's take a listen, y'all.
Wonder Woman, how you doing? You're live on Lolcow Rewind.
Sorry.
Wonder Woman, I want to say something to you. I am so sorry for coming in hot like I did. What the problem was is I was thinking so far ahead about how it could blow up and how people could run with stories and shit. And I came in way too hot. Like
So look, Xylee immediately apologizes. There we go.
My messaging was still the same about it, but how I presented it to you was 100% wrong. And I absolutely 100% apologize for the way I did that. I was wrong.
I appreciate it, Xylee. Thank you, Xylee. I appreciate that. But what I've learned from the situation is coming from your perspective. And I appreciate that. I did hear your message that you were sharing. I did. And I did apologize to Rastov and the Steak for doing that on their stream.
I feel bad that I came in so hot. I honestly, it took Billy explaining it, and there was a donation that came up, and I was like, yeah, you're right. I went in way too hot, and I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, yeah, Xylee, you definitely did. Like, again, I wasn't disagreeing with Xylee. I was like, she's making a point. She's making a point. It's valid. It's just, how she kind of just went all in with her teeth, just clumping. Is like, damn, Xylee. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I understood it when she came in hot, because, like I said, it's frustrating when this shit happens, man. Because especially when you've covered these topics before, you're just like, bro, we gotta start getting better. Like, ladies, I'm telling you, please stop being afraid to speak. Like, it does more harm than good. It really does. You gotta speak. You gotta say it right then and there. You gotta speak, man. Because, like, what is the worst is gonna happen? You're gonna have people, no matter what you say, there are gonna be people who are gonna believe you and people who don't believe you. That's the worst case scenario. You're gonna have people that are gonna push back on you. That's the worst case scenario. But at the end of the day, no one can actually fucking hurt you, especially not Keem.
And I apologize for it. I honestly, I feel bad for how I came in there and said that.
That's okay. Don't feel bad, Xylee. I've learnt from it, and yes, I have spoken to Keemstar.
Okay, good.
And he knows, but I want to make it perfectly clear, because I did see from the live stream there were some names that were dropping in the chat.
Yeah.
And I want to make it very perfectly clear that the woman was somebody who was not on camera.
Okay.
At the entire duration of Fat Camp.
At this point, though, just fucking say who it was. Just say who it was. You know what I'm saying? Because this is why everyone's speculating. And based on what she has said, it's one of those things where even I'm sitting there like, she might be talking about Brantley, because why else? Who would be so important to Keem for him to be bothered by it? You know what I'm saying? If it was Brantley, I understand. It's somebody personally close to him, but not saying who it is at this point, like, just say it. You might as well just say it. You already spoke to Keem. You might as well just say it. Well, that's the thing. Everyone was suspecting Brantley, because to everybody, it's like, why aren't you saying who it is? Who could be, if it's close to Keemstar, if it's somebody who's actually close to Keemstar? Because I've seen some names thrown out too, and all of the names being thrown out are people who I guarantee you Keemstar would have no problem fucking kicking to the curb. He's done it. He's done it before. That's why everyone's thinking it's Brantley, because he has definitely kicked somebody to the curb when they've come out with an accusation like this. You know what I'm saying? He don't fuck around with that shit. This is something that will hurt his brand. Keemstar, when it comes to his brand, he ain't fucking that dumb, bro. He ain't that dumb. So that's why everyone's speculating that it's Brantley, because it's somebody, because to everyone, it sounds like it's somebody that's close enough to Keem where he's going to take their side type shit. And that's where everyone's thinking. And this is why there's a problem with not saying who it is if you're going to make this public, because now you have the internet and chaos. You have everybody fucking trying to figure out who it is. I've seen so many names drop. I heard people say it's Kyrie. She wasn't on cam and she's attractive and she was at boot camp and she's bisexual. I've seen all this shit on fucking Reddit. Now everyone's speculating who it is, and that's pointing fingers, because you know how the internet people work. Internet people, if they don't have facts, they're gonna just run rampant. And that's what basically Xylee was trying to say, in a way that she could have been a little bit softer in saying it. But like, you can't just make those accusations be vague, because then now again people are gonna start fucking speculating. And then somebody who probably had nothing to do with it, if it wasn't Brantley, now everyone's gonna point the fingers at Brantley, and now they're painting Keem and Brantley as fucking predators. You know what I'm saying? That's not okay if it's not true. If it's not true, don't paint Keemstar and Brantley as fucking predators. At this point, just say who the fuck it is. That way you leave it up to nobody's interpretation at this point. But see, that's the thing. Everyone can say, I don't think it's Brett. We don't know who it is at this point. I don't think it is either, but we don't fucking know. And at this point, because we don't know, people don't give a fuck. They're still gonna, because they don't like Keemstar, and it's not a fucking new thing. I've said this many times. They have used Brantley against Keemstar for since they started dating, dude. They've used Brantley against Keemstar to call him a pedophile. They've used Brantley against Keemstar. They call her a gold digger. They don't know the fucking nature of their relationship, but that's the internet. They don't have to. They just don't like Keem, so they'll say shit. You think this helps? Do you think this makes it look better? Because now people are going to say, oh, it must have been Brantley. Because look, we saw the video last night. And what does it look like? That they were painting it as it was Brantley. Brantley is the woman, right? And now, again, it doesn't matter what she's saying. It doesn't matter what Wonder Woman's saying because people already have it in their heads. Now they're probably thinking, well, you're protecting someone. It has to be Brantley. Because now you seem like you're protecting this person. If somebody did something that made you uncomfortable and they fucking hurt you, why are you protecting that person? That is what people are thinking right now. And that's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Nobody should be thinking who did it. We need to know who did it. At this point, you brought it up. You made it public. We need to know. Because if that person's still around now, and here's an even better thing. Okay, you talked to Keem. How is Keem handling it? Well, we'll find out because he does talk about it in the next clip we're going to watch, right? But overall, because I haven't seen that yet, I'm just going to speculate now, right? Because now we're in the level of speculation because now we don't have much information. Now we won't know. Will we know for a fact if Keemstar handled this now? Because we don't even know who the fuck it is. So for all we know, it could be anyone. We don't know who it is. So we don't know if that person's still in the Lolcow universe or not because we don't know who the fuck did it. You know what I'm saying? I also agree with that. Nobody in the chat is disagreeing with Matt Barr being banned. Fuck Matt Barr.
So whoever was on camera, it was not that person. So it was somebody who was on camera. Keemstar, I've apologized to Keemstar as well. And he didn't come in because he was bothered by it. He came in because he was concerned.
Yeah.
And I've spoken about that. So thank you very much. Do you have any questions that I can answer to clear anything up for the chat at all?
Only question that should be at who was it? That's it. Who was it? Or better yet, who was it not then? Like, that's where I'm at with this. Like, I would just be like, the only question I have, who was it that did this? Because at this point, you brought it up, you made it public. Who is it? I see people too on Reddit talk about it. It's no one's business. Are you serious? Like, no, again, I'm not shitting on Wonder Woman. She has every right to tell her story. But like, when you make it public, you are inviting everyone to it be your business. It's everyone's business now because it's public. It's public now, and everybody wants to know what the fuck happened at Fat Camp. Like, what the fuck actually happened? And that's, again, it just is what it is. So this whole thing's a hot mess, y'all. And my thing is too, where she's just like, you know, when I talked to Keemstar, he didn't come at me. Like, no shit. Nobody, if Keemstar was good, this is the thing, right? Say what you will about Keemstar. I have my thoughts on Keemstar, but one thing I will say that Keemstar would knowingly not do, right, is he ain't gonna come at you about something like this. He's not dumb enough to fucking come at you like this because he wouldn't want that to come out. Even if he felt that way, he wouldn't be dumb enough to do it. He would not be dumb enough to do it. You know? So, of course, he would come at you in a professional way, regardless if he agrees with you or believes you. He's not dumb enough to do something as to come at you. No offense, Xylee, but how Xylee came at you. Keemstar's not dumb enough to do that because he wouldn't want that to come out. You know? Only people say at Fat Camp really know who all was there. Really could have been someone the internet didn't know was there, to be honest. I mean, overall, I'm just sitting here like, why are we protecting this person? At the same time, like, why are we protecting this person? Do you think Wonder Woman knew what she was doing? No, no idea. Like, this is a problem with it being done on this program too, and this is why I said it should have been handled behind the scenes, not publicly. Because unfortunately, Lolcow Live, this universe has a reputation for fabricating drama and having scripts leak. So like, we know it's kind of a little bit fake, and it's kind of like we're on the lines of like, we don't know what's real, what's fake. So that's another reason why I don't think she should have done this publicly on these platforms, just because of the fact that we don't know what the fuck is real anymore. You know, the fact that people have to even question this type of shit is really fucking sad. But that's what Keemstar has created. This is the whole premise of the show. We don't know what's real and fake anymore. So, but as long as they're being talked about, I guess that's all that matters, right? As long as we're talking about it. Doesn't matter what's real or fake. It's just we're talking about it, aren't we?
You're doing okay overall. Everything's going well with Wonder Woman. We haven't seen too much of you lately, right?
You know what? I've been learning OBS.
Oh,
good for you.
Hard. Yes, I went into the Nightmare did fantastic today. He ran an OBS stream. There were quite a few people in there. So that's why I've been behind the scenes learning OBS.
See, here's the thing though. I don't say that he exonerates anyone, because again, we don't know what the fucking truth is at this point, Lunchbox. I don't know what the truth is. Do I think that it was Brantley? No, I don't. I don't think it's Brantley. Brantley and Keem are very fucking open about their sexual endeavors. Like, they're very open about that. I don't think that people who are open about that are like, most people who do shit that are wrong, they don't want you to see that side of them, right? Brantley and Keemstar are very open about it. So again, I don't think that it's Brantley either, but I still don't think that exonerates anyone, because for all we know, the fact that we're not getting a name is bothering me, because it's like, you brought this up, you're not saying who it was, you're not even saying necessarily who it's not, you're giving you're giving breadcrumbs to us. Like, why, if this is a serious situation, we're getting breadcrumbs? That's what's bothering me. Like, just say who it was. Say, like, this is not fucking Clue. We're not playing a game of fucking Among Us, bro. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this whole situation is like playing Among Us. Who's the imposter, guys? Like, it's crazy. Just say it was this person. They did this. They owe me an apology, something. Because it just seems like, what's the point of bringing it up other than just having a game of Clue? Now everybody's talking about it. It's like, that's the point, right? That's what I'm feeling. That's my opinion. Like Lunchbox, that's your opinion. That's my opinion. This whole situation sounds fucking like crazy. For what? Just say it was this person. Why are you protecting someone who did something to you that made you feel uncomfortable? Fuck them. They should have never done that. It was wrong what happened to you. If it happened, right? And I'm saying if, because I don't know, right? So Wonder Woman, if this happened to you, right? I'm sorry it happened to you, but like, you have no obligation to protect this person, right? They need to learn from this. What better way to learn from it than say, hey, you did this. This is how people feel about it. Don't do it again. Don't do it to somebody else.
And it's been really good. So, and I've been in some VCs as well. I want to jump into Tess because they're doing some songs tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just been lots of new people, and so I'm just giving them a chance. You know what I mean? And to be there. So just being respectful to all the new interns as well.
That's sad.
I've heard a lot of people say good things about the OBS crash course. So very cool.
Yeah.
I think that learning OBS is not hard at all. And if you have any sort of computer literacy, it shouldn't be as daunting as it's made out to be in this world. It's kind of,
it looks scary. It looks more scary. it looks scary, but it's actually
all right. So I guess the main thing we could take away from this, because other people said they watched it, and the main thing that was basically said is that the person who apparently did this to her was not somebody that was seen on camera at Fat Camp. So somebody from behind the scenes. So there is that one. Okay. So now this morning we're gonna hear from Keemstar, good old Keemstar, and how he's handling the situation. Give me 1 second to bring that up, because y'all know my computer and my internet is dog shit. There we go. Sounds like BS to me. I mean, that's the sad thing. We don't know. We don't know. Because all of this shit, all of this fucking shit it's the low up. Look, Harvard. Look, Harvard, Becky's school that she claims she went to. Okay.
Telling you, caffeine burst like that is fucking beautiful.
Keemstar's about to come on.
It was
never
nasty.
Had instant coffee.
It's
That
nasty.
sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's bad. All right, so cafe confessions. I saw y'all do that at the end. You want to do that at the end yet? Today?
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
that works.
that's fine.
It was her, guys. It was her. She was there. She's at fat camp. It was her. Let's start accusing random people now, because we don't have a name. All right, so Keemstar is coming on about here. All right.
I guess Aussie. I guess this one woman talks about the incident and then Zali pressing her, and then we can check that out. I guess that was on Reddit, but here, let's check it out. Share screen. Da da da. All right.
And only myself and the other person know, and I'm not naming names, but I was taken into a bathroom with someone.
Come on, Ken. You got this. You got this, Ken.
It wasn't a male. It was a female. And she was taking photos of me. Yeah, we were taking photos together, fully dressed. And then this female was trying to get me to take my clothes off.
Jesus, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Do
they still work in the LCU, or do they work in the LCU?
No.
Did they work in the LCU?
All right, pause. Is this from the announcement today that you're talking about? Is this what people are saying?
Before we get to that, real quick, I just realized something. Like, if they're not part of the LCU, right? Why are they there? Is anyone like picking that up? If they're not part of the LCU, why are they there? Were they a spouse of somebody who was part of the LCU? Is that what we're referring to? So again, see how it's like when you don't give everybody like the more information, right? Now you leave it open to questions and interpretation. So it's not somebody who was part of the LCU, and it's not somebody who was on camera. Well, was it somebody's spouse? Was it like did Keemstar have family members there? You know, was it somebody else's family member? Who was it? You know what I'm saying? Zeta or her wife. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know because we're not given any information. So now we have to. It's like I said. It's like playing a game of fucking Clue when it comes to somebody who is claiming that they were made uncomfortable. They had somebody make unwanted sexual advances at them and put them in a fucking compromising position. Bringing somebody into a bathroom where nobody is there. Right? And taking pictures, harmless, but like trying to get her to unclothe and you're sitting in the bathroom, it made you uncomfortable, understandably so, but like, what the fuck, man? Why, like, see, again, this is what happens when you don't just say it, you know? Zeta or her wife. Didn't Twiggy bring his wife? Now we have more people that we're just pointing our fingers at instead of just pointing the fingers at the right person. You know, I really just wish you would just say, she's like, I'm not naming names. Then why bring it up? Why bring it up publicly? You know, if you don't want to name names publicly, then don't talk about it publicly. Honestly, you know, that's just how I feel. And I know it sounds awful. People are going to say I'm victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming. It's just, this is why people just get away with so much fucking shit. I'm sorry. It's frustrating because like, man, that like say it when it happens. Prevent it from happening to somebody else. If you want to just let go what happened or whatever, fine. But like could have like, especially when it comes to this, like going to Keemstar, definitely go to Keemstar and be like, bro, this chick did this to me. And then if Keemstar didn't do shit about it, then you can speak and be like, yo, fuck Keemstar. I told him about this shit. He didn't do it. This is who it was. The desperation for content in LCU is wild right now. I agree. Name names or shut the fuck up. I mean, in a nicer way, it's kind of what I'm saying. In a nicer way, you know, it's like, because like, why protect this person? Why protect them? And I know a lot of people over there, a lot of people that talk about it. And Keemstar's gonna say his famous line, you guys don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. Bro, we don't know because you have your fucking people your host on these shows saying this shit publicly. Of course we don't know. You, Keemstar, you've been doing this for fucking years. You are the drama alert. You are the drama king, right? You are the drama guy. You know how this works on the internet. You know how people's minds just fucking wander. And I don't know if you know that and you want that because it keeps people talking about y'all like me, right? Or you're just forgot? Are you getting too old? Are you getting senile? What's the problem? What is the problem, sir? See, again, right? Now we're thinking it's Twiggy's wife. You know what I'm saying? It's like now everyone's speculating. And don't forget how many times, you know, people made accusations in the Lolcow universe and they just gets monetized and then swept under the rug, right? Sweep, sweep, sweep. Yep.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
So it's hard to give an opinion now. Because I think we need to hear more what Wonder Woman has to say.
Okay, no, I got it. I just wanted to,
Yeah.
for context, I just want to make sure that's what. All right, let's get into it again.
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
Did they help Fat Camp succeed?
I'm not saying anything else. But it was all okay because I got myself out of the situation. Out of there. I was gone.
What the
Is she
fuck?
gone? Oh God, I
Well,
have
first-
suspicions, but I don't want to say them out loud.
I guess
the
first
way
I
that
will
you
say-
said that makes it sound like it's Zeta. Was it Zeta?
No.
Stop. First of all, Wonder Woman, I'm sorry that happened to you.
So it's crazy, right? How they say a name, right? They say a name there. Was it Zeta? Was it Zeta who did it? No. Easy. Zeta is not the one who did it. Now we can say it wasn't Zeta. Okay? So there you go. So here we go now. You can say who it's not, but you won't say who it was. Why? Why? Was it Zeta? No. See how easy that was? Was it Brantley? No. At this point, why don't we just go down the list of who it's not so we could just figure it out, right? Because at this point, again, we're just playing Among Us. It was red. It was blue. Was it blue? No, it wasn't blue. I saw blue. I was with blue. We were doing wires, and they could have killed me, and they didn't. Well, was it red? No, I know. Red was there when that was reported. Like, bro, why are we playing Among Us with what real life shit? Why are we playing Among Us with real life shit? That's crazy. This is crazy. And that's why I feel bad because I want to believe Wonder Woman. I think she comes off as a very sweet, genuine person. But like, unfortunately, the way this is being handled is not in a way that is making it easy for people to believe. Because again, there's just, why say it if you're not going to say a name? You can easily say who it was, but you can't easily say who it was. Why? That's my question. And I also want to point out to you guys, yes, what happened to her, it is kind of fucked up. It's wrong. Making people uncomfortable, making sexual unwanted advances is wrong. But people out there, I want to say, I've seen people making this out. This is not an SA allegation, okay? This is not an SA. Harassment, yes, and harassment is just as wrong. But everyone's making it seem like this person actually like did something criminal. And again, both are wrong. I want to point that out, but like everyone's making it sound like she's making accusations of SA, which she's not. So for those of you who are thinking this is an SA allegation, it's not. Please stop painting it that way or making comments suggesting that it is, because it's not. It's not. Fuck you, internet. Stop it. Stop doing this one bar shit. My internet's not that bad. It's not that bad. Not yet. Go up. Hello, person critters in the chat. Hello, all you new people in the chat. This is like the air breath stuff. Also, the way she's acting like that dude makes me suspicious that she's not telling the truth. See, fake. This is the crazy thing. The problem is that Becky is poisoned the well so much that with the Richie shit, that now this happens, everyone is both suspicious and aiming at peeps who may not be involved. Exactly. And again, we saw the video last night. What was that video last night that we reacted to doing? It said, I'm pretty sure it's Brantley. And this person was the one who called into Madhouse a few weeks back. I think it was like a week ago, maybe, that called into Madhouse, which got Madhouse canceled. and all those hosts fired, basically, right? They completely, Keem shut that show down because that dude called in and made an accusation about Brantley and kid behind the camera. And now, because of this situation, that is why it's being presented as Keem and Brantley are predators, right? And now, could that be true? Sure. But we don't fucking know because we don't know what the fuck happened because there's so much fake shit going on. You know? And it shouldn't be that way. People shouldn't be pointing the fingers at people who might be innocent. We need to figure out who the fuck it was. And since this is an accusation that she brought to light, that Wonder Woman brought to light, why are you not saying a name? And that's why people, and the sad thing is people are going to think it's fake, and then people are going to point fingers at the wrong ones. That's where we're at, y'all.
And you were put in a compromising situation. It obviously bothered you if it took you this long to come out and say it. And I feel very happy that you felt safe enough here on Aussie to talk about what happened to you. I do think that if that did happen, it should
Shifter. That's literally what happened. She was uncomfortable with it. What do you mean what's wrong with saying I'd like to see you naked? There's nothing wrong with saying that, but she clearly wasn't comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? And when you meet somebody, like if you're going to an event, right? You're going to an event for work, basically. This is work for these people. You have to understand that, Shifter. This is like their job at this point, right? They're getting paid to do these shows. So this was part of their job to do this event to make content, right? So you're there with your working, and you have somebody who's trying to make sexual advances at you. And for all we know, we like Wonder Woman, and she said it was a female. Wonder Woman might be straight. So it was an uncomfortable situation. So I disagree. Like, nothing's wrong with asking to see somebody naked, but it's like that's what she's saying happened, Shifter. She's saying that she wasn't comfortable with it. And she was in the bathroom with this person. She was in a bathroom with this person by herself. So the person did kind of like basically kind of trap her in there. Like, they pulled her in the bathroom under the guise of, let's take selfies, honey. Let's take pictures. And then made a sexual advance, which she was uncomfortable about, which she said she's talking about now. So, you know, it's crazy that all of this is happening. You notice that Xylee started yelling at her for spreading rumors, and she did that to Savage. Ah, man. Let me tell you. This is a hot mess. This whole thing's a mess. Bro, we don't even know. This could be someone saying, hey, we are drunk. Can I see your tits? That could be it. We don't know. And this sucks. Right. And it could be. It could be one of those things where it could be more severe than she's letting on, or it could be like a nothing burger. But the thing is, we don't fucking know because there's not much we're told. And that's the problem. That's also, and in fairness, I get what you're saying about the whole Xylee thing, but in fairness, critters, Xylee did have a point. Why make this fucking public and withhold so much information and leave it up to interpretation? If you are making an accusation on somebody, you don't want to leave questions. You don't want to leave people with asking more and more questions. Like, people are going to ask some questions, sure, but when you have people who have nothing to go on, really, because like this could be anyone. If it's somebody who wasn't on camera, we don't know. Do we have the guest list of every person who was at Fat Camp, or do we only paid attention to the people who were the hosts and they were on camera? Savage was there, Xylee was there, Kid Behind the Camera was there, Wings was there, Boogie was there, Boogie's girlfriend was there. Obviously, we know Wings' wife was there, Keem was there, Brantley was there, Beans was there, I believe, Ken was there. Did I say Kid Behind the Camera? There were a lot of people there. Hell, Becky was there. You know, Roxy was there. I guess Zeta was there with their wife. Twiggy was there with his wife. Like, who, you know what I'm saying? And those are the people that we just know was there. That we know was there. Right? So who the fuck, if the person was on camera and they're not actively part of the LCU like that, who do we know that was there that wasn't on camera if they weren't on fucking camera? If they weren't mentioned to be there, like, who was there that we don't know? You know what I'm saying? So that means now we doubly don't know who the fuck she's talking about. You know? Apparently a bunch of random crowns and people that paid to go. Right. So again, we don't know who it was. Were you there, Ray? Hell no, I wasn't there. Hell no, I wasn't there. Why would I go there? The only reason why I would go there is to see Xylee, because Xylee and Savage. Like Xylee's somebody I've known for a while, and then I'd love to meet her in person. Savage, I'd love to meet in person too. But for the most part, I had a feeling Becky's dumbass was gonna be there, so I would definitely not go. I wouldn't even pay to go there because, like, you know, the fight that Becky had with Roxy. Oh yeah, that would not have gone down like that if I was there. Me and Becky would legit throw down. It wouldn't be for fucking content either. That bitch would say something fucking out of pocket to me, and I'd be fucking locked up in wherever the fucking state they had that shit in. Because fuck that bitch. That bitch could not fucking say shit to me in person because she would get rocked. Fucking rip that fucking fake ass hair off that bitch's head. Ain't no way.
You should probably talk to Keem.
No, I'm not going to bother Keem about it. It was.
I think Keem
fun.
would want to know.
I think he would.
I think Keem would want to know. And I think
especially if they're still orbiting the LCU, he
Can you hear
probably
me?
want to know.
Yeah. My bad.
Can you pause it?
Yeah, I did.
So she didn't want to take it to me because she didn't want to bother me. But this is my yearly Memorial Day weekend party that I go to every year.
Mm-hmm.
And all day long, I am not going to be able to go to the party because I'm dealing with the aftermath of this.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman, you failed your objective of not bothering me.
Yeah, no shit. We know. We know. We know. Goddamn ads. We know, Keem. We know. We basically said that. Xylee said that. Everybody said that. Like, this is gonna bother him way more now than when this happened. So, anyways.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to say it live on a stream, it's going to get back to you. Like, there's no stopping that.
Yeah.
So I understand, like, you know, obviously you never want to tell a victim to stay quiet. You never want to say that, but you can't say what you want to say on a Lolcow live stream and it not get back to Keem. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know, like, and I really don't know because I'm not an expert on this, but I don't know if she's a victim because, like, based on what she's saying someone wanted to take pictures naked and she got out of the situation. She just left. So is there a crime or something, like, other than feeling uncomfortable?
Sexual harassment, being harassed, unwanted advances. Here's the thing. Keem says I'm not a fucking expert at this. Keemstar, I remember. Does Keemstar forget? Like, people remember the Keemstar show, the Salvo Pancakes Edwin Generation situation that also happened under your watch. Like, what do you mean you're not an expert at this? What? Oh shit. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I have a drop now. Thank you. What's up, everyone? Like the stream. Shouts to Hagatha. Thank you so much. And I have a super chat drop now, so you guys can finally see what it looks like. So thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat.
Game over. By the way, if you guys haven't seen the new Devil May Cry anime, highly recommend. Very fucking funny. That's a clip from that show, and I wanted to use it because, like, it's fucking Dante, dude. Like, fucking Dante. Don't what the fuck me. It's fucking Dante from Devil May Cry, you fucking uncultured swine. How dare you? How dare you not acknowledge the beautiful Dante? Can't believe you said that. What the... You're a weirdo. How dare you? You're a gamer, Victor Burns. How dare you not recognize Dante? Devil May Cry. Anyways, he's been doing Drama Alert for decades. He might not be an expert, but I'd hope he has an understanding of these things. I mean, he covered the Salvo Pancakes Edward Generation shit, right? So what do you mean? Oh my God. If y'all don't know Dante from Devil May Cry, I can't help you. Either the Netflix show was straight up unwashed ass. No, it was actually pretty good. That was long. It was only 24 seconds long. It also gives me a break to, do what I gotta do. Okay, I'll shorten it. Okay. I guess somebody was right that I should shorten it a little bit. Anyways, yeah, let's continue.
Because they tried to take advantage of her, but they didn't end up doing it. So I don't know. That's still shitty either way.
So here's the thing you got to think about, right? One, were they sober? Because if they're not sober, then that's one question.
Well, I know who it is because I did talk to Wonder Woman afterwards.
Okay.
They were definitely not sober. This person was wasted.
Got it. And then the second thing to me would be, did the person actually touch her and try to remove her clothing before Wonder Woman got out of there? If there was touching involved, trying to take like her top off, pants down, whatever, then at that point, it is what it is.
You ain't doing shit.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's the problem. You see what you've done right there? That's what everybody that's hearing this has done, but that's not what's being said.
That's true. That's true.
The
You're
story
right.
that Wonder Woman said is, me and this female were taking pictures with our clothes on. Then she wanted to take naked pictures, and I felt uncomfortable, and I got out of the situation. Now, even though that's what we know so far publicly of what took place, everyone has now jumped to she was sexually assaulted, sexually harassed.
Right, which I'd say do that.
You know, it's turned into this whole thing, and then she didn't name publicly who it was.
Also, Keemstar, that is what sexual harassment is. Like, I know you haven't been to an actual like corporate job in a very, very long time, but that falls on the lines of sexual harassment. So yes, she was sexually harassed.
So now there are videos on YouTube saying that Brantley did this, and Brantley did not do this, right? There are people.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So Keemstar's saying that Brantley did do that. I won't play the drop again because clearly it's too long, or maybe I'll just shorten it. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Dust Production, for $10 super chat. Just because, LOL, it'll make Clarence mad. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate the $10 super chat. So Keemstar saying it wasn't about Brantley. So at least again, we're getting all the information of who it wasn't at this point. So it wasn't Brantley, and yes, I agree. That's why what she did and how Wonder Woman did this was not the right way to do it, because now everyone's going to speculate. So Keem's saying it was not about Brantley. People are trying to say it was. Now this dude, by the way, is coming out with part 2 where he alleges, because when he first came to my chat a few days ago when I was talking about the Savage drama and the whole Keemstar and that whole group accusing Savage of being, involved with the guy who called and made an accusation against Brantley. This is the guy that we're talking about, the guy who made the video, pretty much saying that Brantley was the one that was Wonder Woman who was talking about, right? Now, he had said when he came to my chat during that time that he had proof that what he said was true, that there was video or audio evidence that would go with what he said on Madhouse that got Madhouse canceled, right? And so when he came out with the video, that's the video he came out with. He said there's part 2 that has more information. So I have no idea what's going on or what that's going to be. I would hope that if he's the one making these claims right now, he's the one putting this out there, that it was Brantley that was involved. I would hope that part 2 would actually have evidence. I hope he'll actually have evidence, because at this point, it's just looking like a fucking mess that didn't need to be a mess. And if anything, it's just giving Lolcow universe way more attention than it fucking deserves about something that's actually fucking fucked up that's going on in this fucking whole thing. That's why I told you that fucktard was full of shit. Again, like I said, I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Nobody knows Lunchbox. You don't know. I don't know. The only people who actually fucking know what's going on are really the people who are involved in this, and that's mostly Keemstar. The fact that people have think that because Keemstar is, I don't always know what goes on, that's bullshit, man. That is fucking bullshit. How do you not know what's going on under your fucking roof, dude? Like, that's crazy to me. And when I say under his roof, I mean the fucking Lolcow universe, all these hosts and all this shit. How do you not know? I know you're the first person most people usually go to. That's another reason why this whole Wonder Woman thing not going to Keemstar is kind of crazy, because I'm sitting here like, everybody goes to Keemstar about all the shit that goes on behind the scenes. Keemstar is like the number one fucking call on speed dial, bro. So I'm very confused at why this is even happening. But we'll see. We will see, I guess. I'll wait to see what happens. Like I said, I'm not saying that Brantley did it. Is it possible? Sure. Anything's fucking possible. But he's saying she wasn't her. He got a name. No one wants to say who the fuck it was, which is kind of weird considering Keemstar would usually say who the fuck it was without hesitating. But now we're just protecting somebody. I have no idea what's going on.
Saying it's Zeta Ray's wife. It's not Zeta Ray's wife. There are people saying it's Desi. It's not Desi. This is a huge fucking problem. This has caused some insane scandal where now multiple people are being accused of sexual assault and all this other stuff, which is this sexual assault? Someone wants to take nude pictures and Wonder Woman didn't, and you just left. Like,
sexual harassment, Keem. And another thing that's concerning me with this whole situation is like, anytime it involves his fiance, right? Anytime anything is involving his fiance, he fucking loses shit. We saw it with Madhouse. You would think that if people are making an accusation like this and saying Brantley's name attached to it, that Keem would be losing his fucking mind. Understandably so, justifiably so, he should be losing his fucking mind. I'm losing my mind because I don't think it's Brantley, right? I think it's fucking crazy that people are just assuming it's Brantley without anyone fucking saying it's Brantley, except for one person who the only evidence we have is clips of them being open in public talking about their sexual relationship and how she flirts with other females and makes these comments. Like, I understand where you could draw the lines, right? Where you could, make it seem like, okay, this might be Brantley. I am not saying that's not understandable, but it's not factual, right? It's speculation. It's hearsay, right? I would be fucking livid if I was Keemstar. Notice how calm he's being? This is a fucking mess. This is a fucking shit show. Notice how calm Keem's being? And he'll say, well, I'm being calm because I don't want to fucking crash out. This is the time you can crash out, and it's understandable, Keem. I would not judge you for crashing out. This is a fucking clusterfuck. If somebody was making accusations and people are thinking it's my fucking partner that's involved, I'm losing my shit. I don't give a fuck if I'm crashing out. I don't care if people are going to call me a crash out. This is a justifiable reason to crash the fuck out. Becky crashes out all the time, and you monetize that shit. You make lots of money over it. Who cares? Crash the fuck out. That's crazy. His reaction to this is making me even more suspicious. What the fuck is going on over there, bro? This is a fucking mess. How he's being calm right now when people are accusing your fucking fiance of SAing someone, even though we know it wasn't SA, but still, the fact that people are saying that should make you fucking livid. Should make you fucking livid, and no one's gonna blame you for fucking crashing out that people are falsely accusing your fiance, bro. This is why I'm looking at this like this is so fucking weird to me. Be mad. You should be mad. I'm mad for you, my dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
with
really
you.
go as far to call it that.
I wouldn't either.
But, they try to take advantage of her, I guess. I don't know if that's the right wording.
I don't even know if it's try to advantage because, like, what if Wonder Woman was down to take the sexy photos, right? She just declined the offer and left. So I don't even know if you can say try.
But I say double standards, by the way, because if this was a fucking guy, if this was a dude in this situation, this reaction would not be this chill. Sorry, I had to call it out because, like, let's keep it real. If this was a guy in the situation instead of a female, this would not be the reaction. This would be not the reaction at all.
To take advantage, like,
yeah.
To me, this sounds like Wonder Woman was was offered something that she was not comfortable with and left. I'm sorry, but it does seem pretty fucking simple.
I'm glad it was that simple. You know what I mean? I'm glad it didn't go any farther than that.
Well, the problem is
that's not how anyone's going to react to this. When they hear this story, the way Wonder Woman delivered it, the way the other hosts on Aussie are responding to it, even though if you look at the words and what's being said and you look closely to the story, it seems like a nothing burger. The way it was presented was like somebody got raped.
I will agree. That's how it did come off. 100%. 100%. Fuck you and your fucking ads. I can't stand these ads, man. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's muted.
To think about is look at Wonder Woman's body language, right? She's not in fear. She's not crying. She's not sad. It's almost like gossip. You know what I mean? So if that really did happen and she felt that way, I don't think she would have like the look on her face talking about it, and if she talked to you already and you figured it all out and no one wants to proceed forward with anything, then that's just say what it is. The issue is these clip channels and these haters are going to spin any kind of narrative to try to bring the whole thing down. That's all this is.
Yeah, I'm torn.
Which I agree. And that's why I kept saying, if you're going to come out with something publicly, you might as well just name names and tell the whole story, because now you leave it up to interpretation. That Ken is 100% right. That's literally what people are doing. That's literally what people are doing. I get why people were mad at Xylee, but Xylee made a point because she literally called this out. She said, why are you doing this on this channel? Why are you doing this publicly? You should talk to Keem. And then if Keem didn't do shit, then I'm not gonna say shit. You go in public about it, right? But still, name a name. If you're gonna say it, just name a name. You know.
Between like being concerned that Wonder Woman's good, and then also being mad about how she like, dude, come to me. Now this is going to turn into some big thing. And it's like, I did not like that Twiggy was saying Wonder Woman was twerking on him or whatever she said, because you know what? Twiggy wasn't sexually assaulted.
I like
he doesn't feel
I like
he's
it.
sexually assaulted. But when you say stuff like that, the audience is going to say, Twiggy, you were sexually assaulted. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't like any of this stuff, dude. Like, I can't comprehend.
My thing is, right, let's talk about the stuff we know happened at Fat Camp based on what Savage had said, right? And what they said about Savage, right? Basically, not what Savage said, but what basically they would talk about. So Savage was apparently dancing up on Kid Behind the Camera, right? They talked about that. They were talking about Keemstar was talking about on Lolcow Live something in regards to Savage's vagina pictures being passed around or something about fucking Savage's hoo-ha being shown, right? So like, with all of that said, this is kind of why this situation also is very fucking confusing. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Because like, let's keep it buck. What happened at Fat Camp didn't stay at Fat Camp. Okay? So I don't know, man. That's why everyone's wondering what the fuck actually happened at Fat Camp that we don't know. Now we have Savage was twerking on people, her vag was out there, and now we have Wonder Woman was pulled into a bathroom and a woman fucking propositioned her. Like, what the fuck happened at Fat Camp?
And the need to come out and air this stuff out when all parties involved do not feel like they were like a victim of SA or something. Like none of them are saying a crime was committed. None of them are saying that like I need to go to the police. What they're saying is, oh, somebody was acting a little freaky. It was weird. I was uncomfortable. Like I don't know how to say this stuff is so touchy that I probably just talking right now said something fucking stupid that I'm going to get fucking nailed to the cross on,
Well, this is what I'll say, right? Like, hypothetically, it never happened, whatever, right? Let's just say me and Batgirl were at a club drinking, partying. I asked her if she wanted to come back to my apartment or my house, and she said, no, I'm good, and walked away. Is that sexual harassment? No. It was exactly.
Yeah,
that's kind of what happened here. That's kind of what happened here.
I kind of disagree with that. Like, if you invited a chick to your house and she said no, is that sexual harassment? Like, no. Like, are you at the workplace? You know what I'm saying? Again, if you go to workplace, that is something that could be considered sexual harassment. If you are constantly pestering your employee to go have a drink with you, yes, you can file an HR claim and say this person is sexually harassing you because they're trying to get you back to the place for what? Having sex. No shit. But what did happen can be considered sexual harassment. It can be 100%. Now, again, no one is being accused of a crime. That is correct. No one is being accused of a crime. So, like, my thing is, like, yes, telling a story about your experience at Fat Camp and saying a really creepy situation happened, fine. But, like, it is being presented like that. And I understand what they're coming from. Like, I understand. I'm not saying it's SA. I said that to everybody else. It's not SA. You could say it's sexual harassment, but it's definitely not an assault. No crime was fucking committed, bro. But again, when crimes were accused of being committed, Keemstar, what did y'all motherfuckers do? You monetize that shit. Sorry, but that's just a fact. Hashtag never forget Becky Boop accused her fucking ex of SA and y'all monetize that shit. Sorry, not sorry, but that's a factual statement I just said, so.
Yeah.
And bro, there are videos Brantley sexually assaulted Wonder Woman at Fat Camp.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Last night, I talked to Wonder Woman to get the full story. She told me like more details and like who the person was and all this other stuff, right? And then I go, Wonder Woman, could you please do me a favor? Go on Rewind and clear Brantley's name. All right. She goes on Rewind and goes,
motherfucking commercial.
Pink salt, apple.
Nobody cares about pink salt. Although, what is pink salt? Is that Himalayan salt?
It was not a person that was on camera. That's all she said. Why, bro?
Oh God!
And now Wonder Woman's sleeping right now, and I'm like, dude. So
I agree.
I put out that
I
statement
agree.
saying Wonder Woman went on Rewind last night, Brantley's name, because I asked her to do that, and I thought she did, but she didn't. Bro, like, what?
That's
It almost made it worse. It literally made it worse.
Yeah, right. What the hell? Why? Why can't
Right.
you just do the simple thing?
Yeah,
It's like,
It
dude,
did make it
Wonder
worse.
Woman, I would never, ever allow Twiggy to say that you essayed him or something. I wouldn't let him because I was there. I saw you dancing with him. That's not what happened, right? I will
Right.
never allow. I can't believe that you're like leaving little bits and pieces out of the story for this to be a thing, and my company, the entire LU, to look like Diddy parties are happening,
Yeah.
bro. Come on.
Nothing like
Yeah,
that.
we
No.
can't have that.
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's what it be looking like. That's what it be sounding like with this situation. Where's the baby oil, y'all? If I find out Keemstar has a fucking endless supply of baby oil, I will lose it.
Bro, you gotta help me, Wonder Woman, and clear the fucking like. Come on, dude.
I
This
know.
looks
There needs to
so-
be more clarity.
Yeah, especially when she's supposed to clear Brantley's name, and she said she's not on. That makes it worse. Literally makes it worse. Like that's fucked.
It's not just Brantley. What about Desi?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Ke-
Yeah.
Come on,
Kelly was
dude.
also there for a bit. It could have been Kelly. Like it's
I know, dude. Like, come on.
I doubt it was Kelly. I doubt it was Kelly.
no. I'm just saying, like it's fucked. It's
You know who I know it's not? It's not Xylee. It's not Kelly. I don't think it's Desi. The only people who, like, here's the thing. The main reason why people will say it's Brantley is because Keem and Brantley are very open about their threesomes, and that they, you know, that they have a somewhat open relationship where, you know, Brantley's into chicks and things like that. That's the only reason why Brantley is kind of the thing, because that's the only person that most people know of. And again, they're very open and public about that. So it does make sense why people would easily put the finger at Brantley. But yeah, I can't disagree with Keem on this one. Like, yo, yeah, she didn't make it any easier for anybody. She wouldn't make it easy on every. I don't know. Maybe that's why Wings pushed Kelly down, because it was Kelly. Like, now people are gonna be thinking, oh, maybe it was Kelly. Maybe that's why there was a fight. Oh my god, man, this is a fucking clusterfuck of a mess.
that's all fucked. Damn, dude.
Yeah, I can't believe
Olive oil.
It's gonna get. I hope it doesn't get too spun out of control.
It already has.
The problem is, so here's the only other issue is, like, how do you really like defend this correctly, right? Because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? It's just fuck either way. And to do this and to even say on the stream that she doesn't want Keem to find out about it, but she's saying it on a Lolcow live stream, like that's fucked up, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I just don't know how we're ever supposed to have live events ever again. I wouldn't not unless it's a public space, Keem. Here's how you handle it, Keem. Simple. If it was somebody who's employed by you, fire their ass. Fire their ass. There you go. Find somebody else like you normally do. Who cares, right? If it's somebody who was a pay piggy, you know, somebody who paid to be there, if you had people who paid to be there, like fans, yeah, maybe get rid of them. Like, you know, you got rid of Richie when he was accused by Becky, right? You got rid of Richie. So you do know how to handle this. Is the thing, Ken. Come on, Ken. I like you. Ken, I like you. I don't want to disagree with you, but I have to disagree with you. It's not you damned if you do, damned you don't. It's about the consistency with Keem for me, right? Like, it's like nitpicking and choosing when a situation is similar or worse or less. Like, Keem is not consistent with this shit. It's not about damned if you do, damned if you don't. Don't forget, Richie, who is Becky Boop's ex, got kicked out of Discord for the essay allegations, right? Which Keem, the leaked audio of Keemstar, which he did not deny, right? Which he did not deny was fake or fabricated, right? He did not deny that leaked audio, right? He leaned into it. He confirmed that shit was real. Who cares, right? No big deal. But what was actually in there that can relate to this situation? Keem saying, like, when Lynx brings up the Becky SA allegations, Keem is like, I don't actually know. I don't really believe her. Like, come on, bro. And yet you still banned fucking Richie instead of pressed Becky. Richie was there first. You know, simple solution. Fucking get rid of the person who did it.
If they're not employed by you and they're just a pay piggy, you got plenty of pay piggies, bro. Just kick that person to the curb. Get them out of the Discord. Ban them from the channels. Problem solved. We're moving on. It's over and done with. Rip it off like a Band-Aid. Honey. Sorry, I had to pull a savage.
I don't know it. With Twiggy coming out being like, yo, Wonder Woman was twerking all over me and da-da-da-da, that becomes a thing. Like Wonder Woman's a creep, and she's not, right?
No.
With Wonder Woman and this story, the person that was like trying to get, asked her if she wanted to take naked pictures or whatever, was incredibly intoxicated, right?
No excuse.
It wasn't a predatory thing. I know for a fact, right?
Excuse.
But it's being perceived that way. Like, it's just like, dude, the stuff with Savage, right? I wasn't up. I didn't see it. But if it was true, I didn't hear one person come to me and be like, dude, and I want something to be done. I'm a victim of, Savage. No, but it turns into this. It all turns into this like Me Too stuff, because everyone wants to make sure everyone and go out of their way to, to protect people. And our viewers, many of our viewers have been victims of SA and sexual harassment and all that other stuff. So they're quick to try to defend someone that's perceived as a victim. But like, dude, oh God, this is just such a fucking nightmare. What is wrong with these people, dude? Like,
I know.
I just don't understand why she thought it would be better to say that on a live stream where you're not in, you know what I mean? Rather than like tell you privately, like beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't want to bother Keem. Well, doing that just made shit 10 times worse. So
my whole weekend is
kind
wrong.
of backfired.
Yep.
I'm supposed to be at a party right now. Like, this is a yearly party with my friends and family, and I can't be there because I have to deal with this.
Right.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Real quick, huge ash with the 10.
I'm not gonna lie, fuck that. Like, I get this is online shit, and like at this point, I would have just came back on Monday and said, this is what's going on. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody ruining my fucking weekend. Ain't no way. Deal with it when I come back, because the shit ain't going away either way. So, So I don't know, man. But at least Fred is Kylie. People are talking about her. Wish he would just say the name. This shouldn't be content. I agree. I agree. But here we are. Here we are, guys.
And the host partners were on camera, understood as it was someone on camera, like the wives who accompanied someone and never on camera. I understand what you're asking, but like, no one knows. Like, Keem and Wonder Woman know, so it's up to them on how to proceed. Like, there's going to have to be a lot of damage control, unfortunately, because of how people spin narratives that don't like the LCU and want to see it fall. It's just one of those situations where we just need to like talk about it as little as possible. Like, after today, you need to go do what you need to do. After the fact, just don't even bring it up no more, because no matter what you say, it's going to get twisted into some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, that's true. That is true. Fuck you, ads. Fuck you, Firestone. Nobody cares. No, but Ken is right. That is literally the truth. That is literally what's happening and what's going to happen until he drops a name.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Dude, I wish Wonder Woman would have just came to me and was like, hey, this happened. I felt uncomfortable.
Like, even like at the time it happened too, not like months after the fact,
Well, even if it was months after the fact, she still, in my opinion, should have just came to, like, went to him first.
Definitely.
Like, it's just ridiculous.
No, I agree with you. All I'm saying is, like, the sooner the better, because like after the fact, there's already narratives about fat camp, shit that happened at fat camp. People are already dogging it now.
I get that.
This is just another layer like of the cake to add on to it. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Now I get
Cherry
that.
on the top. Yep. Cherry on the top.
I have so much stuff I want to say, but I don't want to be perceived as a victim blamer too in this scenario.
Well, I know you're not a victim.
Yeah, you're definitely not.
Because I don't really think there's a victim there, but also couldn't there be another scenario where like Wonder Woman says to this person, like, honey, you're drunk, and like takes care of them because they're clearly, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to victim blame or whatever, but like, come on, like, bro, the way this is.
Don't you know the story though, Keem? You just said she told you what happened. Why are we still with speculation mode? Excuse me. Sorry, I had a hiccup. But Why are we still in speculation about Keem? You literally just said she talked to her. She told you what happened. Why are we now saying, well, could it have been a situation where, like, bro, what do you mean? She told you what happened. Did that happen, Keem? Is that what you're alluding to? Why are people not just speaking direct about this?
And told on my show, it's like a fucking Me Too story, and I don't know if it is.
So real quick,
I don't.
Kind of like how Becky Boop started this whole thing with coming on with a Me Too story about Review Tech USA.
Angie uploaded, said something. She said, I think she thought it was more tea than playing it up to what will be perceived and then leaving out parts of it. It was a mistake. So
yes, I agree.
That
makes
very
sense.
good.
Yeah.
I agree. Wonder Woman was potentially telling that story. This will be an interesting story.
Like drama,
But then
which is even more
instantly,
bad.
It changes because you have Stake and you have Rostov that are hearing the story and they're concerned that Wonder Woman may be a victim of something that happened, right? So they're obviously asking questions and the tone change.
But at no point when Rostov and Stake did do that, they did make it seem like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you, like you're a victim, right? At no point, though, did Wonder Woman say, no, guys, no, it's not that serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I can't even put that on the hosts of Lolcow because they were doing what anyone who's listening to the story would do is be like, oh, that sucks that somebody made you uncomfortable where you felt like you were safe and you were uncomfortable. That's not you feeling safe anymore, right? And she, at no point did she say, no, guys, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. She's like, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like, wow.
Changes. Wonder Woman goes to tone. It's like, bro, it's like
yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what happened.
Not tea. Don't play with this Me Too stuff, right? There are real victims that need help,
exactly.
That need real defense. Like, we can't play like this, y'all. We can't.
And that's what I was saying, to like read body language. Like when she was talking, she had a smirk on her face. She was kind of smiling, kind of being a little shy, like kind of like spilling tea or whatever,
Again, which, like I said, I will keep repeating this till it resonates in people's brains. She didn't accuse anyone of a crime or essay or anything like that. She was just uncomfortable. It's the way she presented it was like it was a big deal. Everyone's taking it like it's a big deal. It could be a big deal. We don't fucking know because we don't know what happened, really. We know the bare minimum. And when you know the bare minimum, here's the thing. I'm an actual victim. I don't talk about it often, but that's because I don't want to. I don't want to relive it. But when it comes to that, like, he's right. There are real victims that exist, obviously, that are going to look at this and obviously gravitate to the whole empathy. Like, oh my God, I've been there. #me too. Right. And that's the problem with this, is that's why it's like, this was why it was important. She should, if she was going to tell a story, she should just tell the whole story, not protected the name of the person involved, because like, and putting out there, oh, I just want to spill tea, bro, I don't have problems naming names. If somebody did something sus to me, I don't have problems naming names. I've talked about the people that I've had experiences with, fucking people who used to be on television, bro, that I told stories about and said their names. I don't give a fuck. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to tell people what happened to me, because I want those people to know, like, this could happen to you. Now, I'm not pursuing anything. I wasn't R-worded by the person that I'm referring to. Y'all talked about the, Power Ranger actor I talked about on one of my streams. Told y'all how he was with me, how he was very, very sexual towards me and stuff and all that stuff, and how he fucked his fans and all that shit. I have no problem saying Christopher Kamen Lee's name. See how easy that is? Because I want people to be fucking warned that could happen to you, right? I've let it go. Right? For me, I've let it go, but I talk about it now because I want other people to know and be warned. That way they can make the decision if they want to do something with that. You know what I mean? That's why you say names. You say names because, like, God forbid, oh, this person was drunk. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Christopher Kamen Lee was drunk 90% of the time I talked to that man. He was drunk when I first met him too. No excuse. Alcohol is not an excuse for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Know what I mean? She
know
didn't look like distraught. She wasn't sad. She wasn't freaking out, So when you read body language and people are kind of, being that way with gossip, you need to be able to tell the difference in gossip and, like, whatever,
Also, I have, while this commercial's playing, I also I hate disagreeing with you, but I got to disagree with you there too, because every victim, and I'm not saying that she's a victim, but this is kind of along the lines of like him explaining how victims usually behave and act, right? Is that not every victim treats it the same. Like there are some people who kind of mask their trauma with giggles and smiles, and their body language is not what you would expect a victim to be. There are people who do not react the way you think they react. So that everything Ken said here, I'm just gonna say I disagree, because not everybody responds to these things the same way. So I don't think that, no offense to Ken, but like don't listen to Ken on that one, because that is not factually true either. Every victim responds to the things that happen to them differently. So yes, her body language didn't say that something happened. She didn't say something happened to that level, right? She didn't say she was SA'd, but you can't just look at somebody's body language and just automatically always know for a fact that that might be what's going on. Like there are some signs, there are some tells when you're dealing with actual victims where you could tell if somebody has actually been a victim. That's also one of the reasons why I don't think Becky was SA'd by her ex, you know. But at the same time, saying that people don't giggle or smile when they talk about it because it could be a nervous giggle, it could be a nervous smile, that's also something that psychologically doesn't necessarily mean that you're not, you know, upset about what happened. I mask my trauma with humor. Okay, I mask the shit that happened to me with humor. My mother fucking died, and I made a joke about my mom dying to my friends who were trying to like baby me, be like, "Oh, you know, do you need anything?" Yes, my mommy back. And people like, "What the fuck?" And I laughed because that's how I dealt with the trauma. So let's just not you know. Wait, who's getting timed out? Who got timed out? Wait, who got timed out? Why are you timing out Lunchbox? Why are you timing out Lunchbox? Lunchbox didn't get timed out. Where's Lunchbox? Lunchbox got timed out. Hold on, let me go to my Discord. Lunchbox got timed out. Give me a second. Who got timed out? I don't know who got timed out. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Oh, why did we time out Blind Justice? All he said was, "Glad you're covering this." Like, yeah, time out people. You don't got time out. Oh, sorry.
My job to make sure everyone's safe. And as far as I know, right, with all these stories that have come out, I haven't heard a single situation where like somebody was in danger. Outside of the fight with Becky and Roxy and, you know, Wings and what he did, outside of those things, you know, it's, dude, man, this is such a fucking headache.
I bet. I feel bad for you.
Yep. And the fact that, you know, like Brantley's being destroyed, her character's being destroyed. She's not even on camera. She's not a host. You know, she appears because she's your fiance and all that. But to tear down your person is fucked up too, because that's just gonna make you even more defensive, just being protective. So no matter like how you say it, like how you say it, why you say it, when you say it, it's gonna come out really fucked up to people, and they're just gonna use every single word and throw in some bullshit narrative.
_Phil super chatted $56.
I don't regret giving Lunchbox a wrench, but yeah, can we not time out? Because as like I said, there's so much information we don't know, right? Again, it's hearsay. I'm not gonna ban somebody for hearsay, right? Because yeah, I mean, if he has more information and he's gonna put it out there, I mean, give him a chance to he's making the accusation, right? Give him a chance to put out that proof. Give him a chance to put out that proof. Not really on Lolcow Queens. I was on there once. They kicked me out because Becky can't handle me coming at her. And I was on Lolcow Live a few times. Yes.
Is there more to the story? And the
let me keep it going.
I just want to make sure I truly understand. Like I've seen this, but I need to see it a couple times just
Yeah,
to really understand
Just let
what
it
Wonder Woman
sink
said.
in.
If I was Keem,
And this is where I'm kind of just like, bro, you talked to Wonder Woman, Keem. You said you guys talked. She told you what happened. Why are we still doing this? I need to figure out what's going on. Like, bro, Keemstar, the fact that you think that anyone's sitting here not thinking like you were sent all these clips and saw these clips already is like, this is why it's making it seem like this shit's being used for content. This is why I'm saying it's just being used for content. That's where I'm getting mad. Like, why is it being used for content? It's a fucking, you are correct. People are possibly falsely accusing Brantley, your fiance, of doing something to fucking Wonder Woman. And we're using this for content. You literally got rid of an entire fucking show for this dude calling in and making an accusation on Brantley. Which I agree. Can people stop going after fucking Keem's fiance unless you have actual fucking evidence against Keem's fucking fiance? For the love of fucking God. This shit's so fucking infuriating. Brantley's always catching strays from the moment he started messing with this girl, man. If you have actual proof, put that shit out there. I like Brantley. I would like to know if I'm liking someone who is capable of doing the shit she's being accused of. Thank you. I don't want to be sitting here saying I like someone and find out that they're fucking gross. Like, can we not? I get accused of that shit all the time as it is. But I need actual fucking proof, evidence right in my face, undeniable evidence where I have no questions. Okay, she did it. There we go. Now I don't fuck with Brantley, but can we please put that fucking information out there? Can we stop fucking tiptoeing and playing games with people's fucking lives? Because outside of YouTube, these are people's lives. This shit could be damaging to someone's reputation. Can we stop? We need fucking facts. We need to stop these half-ass stories. This shit's annoying. Half-ass stories don't work. They don't fly. Let's do something about it. Let's just get all the information out there and be done with it. So then we know without a questionable doubt, Brantley did nothing wrong. Fucking this person was the one who did it. End of discussion. Keem, you could clear Brantley and tell it who it was. Why are you now protecting this person? If people are accusing Brantley of doing this, the best thing for Keemstar to do is say it wasn't Brantley, it was this person. Boom, there you go. Now we have a name. Now we know Brantley's innocent without a questionable doubt. Cool. Okay, what are we doing about this person? They're gone. Cool. End of story. Moving on. Now we can talk about how Lolcow Live is fucking shit. Okay, cool. Great. We're moving on. But no one's doing that. No one is doing that. Why are we rewatching this clip of a story being told that Keemstar talked to this woman and got the story from? I'm so fucking confused. This makes no sense. This is not how grown adults behave. I'm not even going to rewatch this fucking clip. We don't got to rewatch this clip for what? For what? Let's go back to this.
Oh, it's been labeled as that by
Xylee. It is.
New fucking commercials.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Hey, guys. All right. Thank you.
I think it would be if the person like kept trying, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like
that's harassment, right?
door of exiting, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, we have a big problem, right?
Right, but it wasn't that, you know? So you can't really call it harassment.
So now I have Xylee up there, right, framing it as sexual harassment. Okay, well now it's sexual harassment to everyone. Like, bro, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys doing? I'm away, and now you've created a sexual harassment fucking scandal that I don't think. And again, I have talked to Wonder Woman directly, and she told me her story directly. And I did reviews last night, and granted, I was drunk. But as far as I know, I don't think it was sexual harassment at all.
Nope.
No. I don't think it was either.
And again, like I said before, right? Like if I had asked Batgirl, she said no and walked away. That's not harassment. That's an invitation.
No.
The invitation was declined, and then we all moved on. You know, that's all this was. But people are gonna spin it, and that's the fucked up part, because they can't be adults and look at it subjectively. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't look at this like subjectively. It's like,
I mean, no, Ken, it can be considered sexual harassment. You guys were there for work. You guys were there for work. It wasn't just vacation. If it was vacation, why y'all make content about your vacation? You're there to make content. You guys were all there to make content. You guys were there to be part of the Lolcow universe, having everybody together under the same umbrella, the same roof, and make content. That's why you can consider it sexual harassment. Somebody was there to work. Somebody was there to make content. Somebody was there to meet everybody, hang out, and fucking make content. And they were fucking put into a bathroom with somebody, and they were propositioned, basically. And even though, yes, they did say no, you could still consider sexual harassment. Y'all know that sexual harassment in the workplace is literally, that is under that whole terms of services, the policies, bro, of what sexual harassment is. So yes, it can be considered sexual harassment. It 100% can be. Now, again, most people, yes, to me, is that a nothing thing? She walked away, yes. The issue, Ken and Keem and Batgirl, isn't about whether, because they're focusing on whether it's sexual harassment or SA. It's like, bro, it's the way it was presented, the way it was handled by Wonder Woman. And right now, the way it's being handled by all y'all is where I'm sitting here looking at y'all sideways. That's what it comes down to. Do I think the story is another burger? Sure. It sounds like they talked. Wonder Woman's not saying that anyone sexually harassed her or assaulted her. Cool. That's great. But that don't matter anymore, because now it's out there. Now we don't have a name. It's public. Everyone's going to fucking interpret this how they want. And you say people aren't going to be grown adults. The entire franchise you're working for right now, Ken. Lolcow fucking Live, Lolcow Universe. It's all about all this bullshit anyway. It's always drama. It's always this. You can't sit here and say people don't know how to be mature adults. This entire fucking franchise is about people who are grown adults not acting like grown adults. Y'all make the most money when a bunch of fucking people are screaming at each other for about 2 hours about fucking nonsense. Hello, Tina and Becky, Lolcow Queens, the perfect example of a fucking show where you got two grown-ass adults just doing nothing but fucking screaming and yelling at each other for 2 fucking hours straight over nonsense. Just saying. You can't sit here and say that people can't act like adults. Your entire franchise is about grown-ass adults not acting like adults. Sorry, not sorry. I still love you, Ken.
Like, you're hearing it and reacting to it, right? You're not digesting it. You're not really truly understanding. It was a very bad reaction to jump the gun to a conclusion that what.
Correct.
That's all it was.
100% correct.
Gaming only said Keem.
Dalish says here, this is a good point. Pulling someone into a bathroom to proposition them can feel like a tense, potential, inescapable situation. Correct.
Cares about this situation too much. It's a nothing bigger burger. Yeah, but it's only a nothing burger because we're actually talking about it and going through what's the truth and what isn't. It just got framed last night as sexual harassment.
But we're not going through it and what's true and what isn't, because we still don't know what the fuck actually really happened. Because Keem is going back and forth. I talked to her, but let's look at what she said, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's this. I don't know why people are saying it's sexual harassment. I don't know why. Bro, you talked to her. What do you mean you don't know?
Harassment. It wasn't a nothing burger when it was framed as sexual harassment. It was a story that went to the Reddit that resulted in multiple videos, fucking accusing all different types of people that, they're rapists or some shit, like it's nothing burger now when we're actually going through it. It wasn't that last night. It was framed as sexual harassment.
100%.
People don't understand like how damaging that shit can be when it's being like fucking spun around. You know what I mean? Like, especially something as serious as that. Like, they just.
Even though, again, don't forget they monetize essay accusations from Becky Boop. Nobody cared how damaging it was for Richie. Nobody cared about his reputation because, Richie was a nobody. He was just a member of the community who ended up dating someone who became a host on her own channel, right? No one cared about Richie's reputation. Nobody cared about how it made Richie look. Richie was literally, there was like no questions been had. He was literally painted as a rapist. Okay? A drug addict rapist. That was what Richie was painted at by Becky on Lolcow Queens They monetized it on the Queens, they monetized it on Lolcow Live, and they monetized it on Lolcow Rewind because they had Richie come on there and tell his side of the story. Until this day, there are still people who think Richie did actually do that. But notice how all of a sudden Richie came out with a video. That video's gone now. He took that video down. Why? Because he had a conversation with Becky. They came to an agreement where they weren't going to talk about it anymore. But it happened, right? Why would you not want to talk about it anymore? But it happened, right, Becky? I don't know about y'all, but when like somebody actually commits a crime on me or hurts me, we won't even talk about crime. When somebody fucking hurts me, let alone commit a crime against me, I don't let that shit go. I still talk about people who fucked me over years ago. I never let that shit go. You ain't gonna fucking silence me. You did me dirty. But an actual crime, somebody who actually committed assault on you like that, you're just going to talk in and make an agreement with the person who assaulted you and say, okay, how about this? We just won't talk about it anymore. That's what?
Don't see it in that way.
Well,
I don't know.
The other issue is that, let's just say, like, I don't know, like, whatever. If Wonder Woman truly does not feel like a victim and she's just putting the story out there as tea or gossip or whatever, people may make her feel like one now because they're gaslighting her into thinking that because of everything that's happening. So that's just going to spin it even worse. So it's just to the point where, you know, again, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And it sucks.
Dude, when I asked her, because she told me.
I just want to say too about the OBS, because looking at this screen right now is driving me crazy. The fact that everyone talking about OBS, why is this still up on the screen? Like right here, why is this still up on the screen?
You know, it was, and I go, can you please tell people it's not Brantley so they don't run the narrative? And then she doesn't. She doesn't come out and say that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It just makes it worse, bro.
I know.
It looks like Brantley is guilty, and then I asked her to clear Brantley's name. What the fuck, bro? Not fucking Brantley, bro. I'm gonna lose mind.
Makes you look like
you should have been lost your mind.
Like you're trying to like hide potential, whatever. And it's going to make you look terribly bad at this point.
Been lost your mind.
When they asked her if it was Zeta Ray, she instantly said nope.
Right. Thank you. Remember my point earlier? Guys? What did I say earlier? When they asked her if it was Zeta Ray, she immediately said nope. But she can't say it wasn't Brantley? That's crazy.
It's like, why can't you say no and then it's not Brantley either?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why is that so hard?
Yeah. But again, trying to like keep this mystery going and like this mystique going by being very vague and like yeses and nos to some, not to others. It's like you're trying to continue the story in some narrative, just trying to keep it going.
But that's exactly what Keem's doing right now. That's what y'all doing. Keem said he knows who it is, bro. Keem said he knows who it is. So why are we not saying who it is? If it's not Brantley, Keem, you said she told you who the person was. You should say who the person was. It wasn't Brantley. She told me it was this person. See how easy that is? Problem solved. Mystery solved. Well, Wonder Woman's trying to make it seem like it's a mystery. Okay, well then why aren't you saying it? Why are we protecting this person and just letting the internet run rampant and think that it's fucking Brantley, bro? That's the thing I'm sitting here thinking in my head. Bye, Andy. Thanks for stopping by and chilling for a bit. That's why I'm confused. But don't worry, this is almost over, guys. Oh.
And somebody asked, "Is Brantley okay?" No, she's not. She's mad as hell. She wants to fucking dot up a bitch right now.
And
I bet.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yep. But she's in chat right now talking to people, so I'm glad she's in chat talking.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
pissed.
Yep.
Oh, I love you, Brantley. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Brantley's an amazing
person. I would
person.
be fucking pissed too.
Yep. I don't know, dude. Yeah.
Is there more to these clips?
It keeps going. It keeps going.
Oh God. Oh great.
I think we watch them.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I want to see them.
We're here. How many people are here? 1,256 people. So you know they're going to take it to Keem.
Okay, but they can't. The answer comes from me, who it was.
Yes, but why even speak about it if you're not willing to tell the whole story then?
I will tell this. I'm not going to tell the whole story on live. I'll go.
Well, then why even mention it?
Do you have a problem that I did?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Tell me
because
why,
that's
Zyla.
like
Tell me
because
why.
it starts shit when you do that. If you're not willing to say the whole thing,
Oh,
then don't
pause real
say
quick.
anything and just
Yep.
go to Keem with.
What you got?
Oh, this is the other thing that happened. King Scott got blamed for this.
Really?
Even though she said it was a woman, uh, a bunch of people in the Discord last night were accusing King Scott of being the one that did this. And so
Oh my
Lord Rush, who's in chat, had to deal with all that in the Discord. Like, I don't think y'all understand what kind of problems this has caused.
I think
I
we
can say for-
understand.
Real
I
quick,
think
I
we
can just say
understand.
for a fact, when I was coming back, King Scott was leaving to return home, and she was there, and they had a beautiful interaction when he left. So I don't think at all remotely possible that happened.
But it's just multiple people are being falsely accused. The people in power, myself, the moderators, other hosts, have to go out of their way to make sure everyone's safe and try to do the right thing. And ultimately, it doesn't seem like there was a crime at all. It doesn't seem like, there was SA or sexual harassment at all. It doesn't, this seems like a nothing burger, but that's not the way it's perceived.
Yeah.
I don't know how
This
many
is
times they
such
could
a
say that. They
problem.
said that
Well,
so many times.
here's
Like, we
the
get
other
it.
thing
We get
too.
it.
If like obviously people keep pressing her and she's gonna get defensive, it's gonna sound like she's trying to sweep and not come out with the truth. Even if there is no more truth, right? Again, I don't know, I wasn't there, but if there is no more truth, but she keeps trying to sweep it, people are also gonna spin that. So regardless of what happens, like I hate to say this, but she may need to like put out a statement, like not of who it was, but say who it definitely was, if whoever needs to be on that list.
No,
And just leave it
no,
alone at that point.
no.
Like,
Just fucking say who the fuck it was at this point. Because, like, that now, again, why are we protecting this person? Like, why are we protecting this person? Like, if this person was being creepy and shit, just why, like, again, like, why bring it up if you don't want to say who it is? Like, the optics are just fucking dog shit on this. The optics are absolutely dog shit on this. Like, what the fuck, man? This is so wild. I see your comment. Yes, we already went through that about who it was, but that's the problem. Is like everyone keeps speculating who it was, but just at this point, Keemstar knows who it is now. Just say who it is. Yes, I agree. Every time there's a problem, all Keemstar says is it's a nothing burger, just like wings. Yes, it's always a nothing burger. Clearly, it's not a nothing burger to everybody else. Just because it's a nothing burger to you, it's not a nothing burger anymore because now everyone's talking about it. I'm talking about it. All these YouTubers are talking about it. 100%. And I do agree with Ken. Because of the situation, you have people who hate Keemstar and have always hate Keemstar and hate the LCU, yep, all that shit. They're going to run fucking rampant with this, and they're going to not believe shit. It doesn't matter what the truth is anymore because they will find a way to make it be like Keemstar bad. See, guys, Keemstar bad. I said this last night, and I will say it again. When the Becky shit happened, the first thing I said is, man, I hope to God no one ever does this to Keemstar, falsely accuses him of anything. And then, yep, last night happened. I was like, I fucking said it. I said, I hope to God this doesn't happen to Keemstar. And here we are now. It happened to Keemstar. More so Brantley. But now they're painting Brantley and Keemstar as predators. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
because it's just going to get worse because people are going to press her. She's going to feel the pressure. She's not even a host, right? But she's going to feel the pressure, and it's just going to make it worse and worse the more she, quote unquote, sweeps the situation. And then they're going to think you told her to do that automatically.
I know. There's no, bro, this is nothing but harassment for me and Brantley. That's all this is.
Especially Brantley.
And people are literally going to say, Keem, how could you allow this to happen? Motherfucker, I can't go in the woman's bathroom.
No.
I can't go in the woman's bathroom. I'm sorry, I can't.
No.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I need a female perspective on this right now. Batgirl, if you were in this situation, like exactly the way Wonder Woman described it, how would you take that situation? Like, what would
like if I was Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be like offended by it or even think that it was like weird. You know what I mean? Like if
Okay,
somebody
so
like
I'm not crazy. So I'm
no,
not crazy.
no,
Thank you.
no.
So here's the thing though. See, this is why I'm like, oh, these people drive me crazy. Okay, Batgirl, are you into females? Are you a lesbian? Are you into females? Are you bisexual? Because again, what one woman would do in a situation that didn't happen to them is not the same, because it's easy to say what you would do when it hasn't happened, right? It's easy to say what decisions you would make when it hadn't happened, right? So that's why I'm sitting here like, no. Like, if you ask me, I'm into chicks, right? But if I'm not into that chick specifically, say I'm a straight chick and I'm walked to the bathroom with a chick and she's hitting on me and flirt with me, the way I would handle it is if I say no and walk away, I'm not saying shit about it, because in that moment, like, yeah, it was uncomfortable. But if it wasn't uncomfortable for me enough for me to say something at that moment to anyone, I'm letting it go and not saying shit. I'm not saying shit unless the same thing happened to somebody else with that person. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you know what's funny is like that did happen to me and I didn't say anything because at the time I didn't think much of it. But clearly this person has a pattern of behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing. It's like, that's how most people would handle these situations. Like, okay, it happened. I walked out of the situation. It wasn't a big deal for me to say anything at the time. Yes, it made me uncomfortable, but you know what? At this point, I'm not going to say nothing. Now, if that same person did that something to somebody else, say all of a sudden Batgirl came out with a story online. It was like, yo, so I was at fat camp and this chick pulled me into the bathroom, or she pulled me into the bedroom and this happened. Then I would be like, oh shit, it wasn't just me. Right? Then I would come out and say something. But asking another woman's perspective on a situation that, number one, they weren't in, right? Saying how she would handle it, again, she could just be saying that, like, in the time, thinking now, you know, this would I handle it. But she wasn't in that situation. She might have handled it differently in the situation, right? So that's not even a good question to ask. But I do agree, like, in the same time with this whole situation, I don't think Wonder Woman should have said anything if she wasn't willing to say who it was and just explain why she was bringing it up. Personally, that's me. If I was Wonder Woman, I would have said, this happened to me. It made me uncomfortable. It was wrong that it happened, you know, and this is who it was who did it, right? I think that should have happened 100%, because now we're in a clusterfuck. We are in a clusterfuck. And I look forward to seeing if there's actually more shit that's going to come out. Because like I said, the blinded justice dude, sorry you got timed out. Lunchbox is very sensitive on the subject because like this shit is very fucking infuriating. I'm sensitive on the subject, but I have to look at it from both sides of the fucking angle because there's not enough information fucking out there, you know? So I want to see what this blinded justice person has for his next video, because he says that the next video is even worse than the first. And I mean, the one he put out there was like, I get where he was going at. I understand, but we need more fucking proof. We need people to just name names at this point. Otherwise, y'all are like Keemstar. You are letting these rumors run rampant. You know who it is. At this point, just fucking say who it is. And we can just keep pushing. And that way, nobody has shit to say anymore. I mean, they'll probably still say shit, but it'll die down. I know I won't have shit to say anymore.
Well, I completely agree. No, I think this is like completely nothing. Like if somebody came up to me and we were taking pictures and they're like, "Oh, you want to take like a topless pic or whatever?" I'd just be like, "No, like I'm not feeling it." And then like I just be on with my way and I would think nothing of it. You know what I mean? Like
But see, here's the
Jimmy, I'm not saying this. See, this is the thing. I'm not saying this is on Keem, right? I'm not blaming Keem for this situation that happened because it clearly happened because of Wonder Woman. Where I'm blaming Keem at this point is like the blame that I fall on him is like, bro, you know what happened. You were told this is a clusterfuck. Your fucking fiance is being accused of being the one that did this shit. You know that's not true. You want Wonder Woman to say it, but at this point, like, fuck that. No offense, but like, fuck that. Fuck that. If somebody is going to accuse my partner of doing something wrong and I find out the truth, I don't care. I'm saying who it was. I'm saying it wasn't a person. It was this person. I don't care. I do not care. I got to say it, man. Because that's just crazy that Keem's going to just let these rumors like fly. Oh, she's got to say it's not Brantley. You said it wasn't Brantley. He said that. I know who it is and it wasn't Brantley. Keemstar said that, but he won't say who it was. And then again, that leaves it open because Wonder Woman still didn't say it wasn't Brantley. Now, I'm sure she's going to say it now, right? And Ken brought up a good point. I love how they're getting a few steps ahead of this, too. Just pointing that out. They're getting a few steps ahead of this. But it's probably true because even now, after the fact, after this all blew up, Now, because she had a conversation with Keemstar, if she says it wasn't Brantley, it is gonna look like I don't expect you to apologize, Lunchbox. You're fine. It is gonna look like, oh well, Keem convinced her to say it wasn't Brantley. You know, it does make it so much worse. It makes it so much worse. This is a sit back and observe situation. Just see what happens next because more could come out later on the LCU. I doubt it will dwindle down. I agree 100%. That's why I'm saying I'm not jumping on saying who it was. I'm not jumping and saying it was Brantley. I'm not jumping on saying who it was because I don't fucking know. Nobody does except for Keemstar, Wonder Woman, and the person that actually did this shit. Okay, for the most part, those are the only people who actually know. And I would say even Keemstar doesn't 100% know. He has to go by he said, she said as well. It's only between Wonder Woman and that person who we don't know who it is. But it's just kind of funny how all this shit's coming out about Fat Camp. All this shit it's a fucking hot mess, man.
The problem. Men go through this life and they're never gonna be able to experience life as a woman and truly have a woman's perspective and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right. So like when it comes to an issue like this, like I can have an opinion, but it's always going to be a man perspective. So I don't really know. I have to refer to another woman, you know?
Yeah.
So thank
commercial.
This is what Ivy League.
Hey, Becky, this is what a university can get you into. These commercials are coming up.
So
Becky.
thank God. I'm not crazy to think what I'm thinking.
No, you're not crazy. No, I don't think there was any like foul play here at all, except with how she brought all of this up and then like continued to run with it. You know.
Yeah,
I just can't with how this was spun.
Just don't let nobody gaslight y'all, bro. That's all I'm saying. Just we all know the you know the facts, right? You know the facts. Don't let people gaslight you into some bullshit because you already know what's going to happen. You've been through this a million fucking times. Just it's not worth it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Thick Gemini said, y'all got to remember Wonder Woman's from a different country, so it was probably weird as hell to her. Yeah, you know what the other thing is, Thick Gemini? Wonder Woman was in a relationship, and I think she did speak about this publicly. I hope I'm not airing shit out, but she was in like a long marriage, you know, had a kid, had a family, and just recently got divorced. So yeah, probably like she hasn't been out partying, drinking, hanging out with groups of people, you know. So yeah, it was probably like extremely you know, foreign to her, you know. That,
definitely.
You know, I get it, but bro, it's also not. I don't think a crime happened.
No, not at all.
You want me to keep going?
Please.
All right.
That, you know what I mean? Because if somebody did that, of course you should, you know, obviously it's wrong if somebody did something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that part, but what I'm saying is you giving something a little bit like kind of dangling it in front of people, but then not telling the whole story and saying you're not going to go to Keem with it. Now the Discord's going to be filled with people going, okay, who sexually harassed Wonder Woman?
I didn't say I wasn't going to go to Keem with it. The Steak and Rasov just said you should go to Keem with it. So yes, I will.
Yeah.
You did say no.
Okay.
You said
At first I did, but we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
And that's
no, just don't say we you know that you because you did initially say no. You said yes now, but initially you said no.
Yes. Is there something wrong with it? I didn't want to bother Keem.
Starting a story like that and then not saying, you know what I'm saying? Like it starts shit. Either like what? Go ahead.
It makes more sense maybe this way. It's a company event and something bad happened at the company event. So
yep,
the owner needs to know who not to invite or like who to, you know.
Sure.
Yep.
Now it's being framed from Rostov as something bad happened.
And again, here's the thing. Fuck all that. What did Rostov actually say? It was a company event. Oof. If if Wonder Woman actually wanted to pursue something legally, she could. It was a company event. Now, Wonder Woman wasn't part of the company, right? Like she wasn't an employee there, but she was there. So at a company event, that's bad. Rostov should have never said it was a company event. that's bad. Don't say it's a company event. Because now you can 100% now say that somebody was sexually harassed at a company event. You see how that sounds? You see how legally that sounds bad? But that's what I'm going to say. There was something else that Keem said. I want to see if we get to that. I think we're getting close.
I'm like, I guess, like, if Wonder Woman thinks this was bad, right? She has a right to that opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Coffee Burger. And then also, after this went down, right? And Xylee went after Wonder Woman on this for all this, right? These clips that we're seeing right now. I was able to talk to Wonder Woman. I think Rostov and Steak were in the call. I don't remember. I was drinking. I just came home to charge a vape and all hell broke loose. And I
hold on, pause. Sorry. You don't know how that would work, Lunchbox? It would work. Well, it would work because, again, just because somebody's not a U.S. citizen does not mean that a crime can be committed to somebody that is not a U.S. citizen. Like, say, for example, the extreme. Wonder Woman was R-worded in the U.S. She could definitely file a claim she could file a police report. Like, that doesn't protect you. How it would work is if she wanted to go that route, she would have to get a U.S. lawyer, more so that has a jurisdiction in the area where the person in question, is from. So that's how it would work. It is she 100% could, but I don't think she should, because again, it wasn't as deep. If the person kept her trapped in there, tried to take her clothes off, then 100%, that's more of a crime where I think you can report. But as far as if she didn't sound like she was at press where she wanted to make a report or anything like that. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, this is something you can do. Do I think you should? No. But when he said it was a company event, I'm sitting there like, yeah, don't say it's a company event, because then now we're going to the workplace legal side of things. But yeah,
the first thing Wonder Woman said to me, she goes, if I'm banned from the Discord, I understand. And I'm like,
No,
what?
no,
I'm not gonna
no.
I'm not gonna ban you. What?
Oh
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't like that Wonder Woman did this. I think this was handled poorly. But
more importantly, Keem, did you ban the person that did this? Like, that needs, if this was somebody who was part of the Discord or part of the, they said we weren't part of the LCU. When I heard that, I thought maybe it wasn't like a person that was a host, but like, are they not part of the LCU at all? So now it's like, maybe it was a friend of a friend. Now we're putting the pieces together. See what happens when you don't tell people exactly what's going on. Now we still have to figure it out. Like I said, we're playing to get Among Us with this story, guys.
I love Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
All right. Wonder Woman was an absolute pleasure at Fat Camp.
She was.
I love that she was there. I loved hanging out with her. She has such good positive energy, right?
Yep.
No, I'm not going to ban Wonder Woman from the Discord.
Well, yeah,
but
go ahead.
I don't think anyone has grasped kind of hell this has caused me and Brantley.
Well, the other thing too is if you were to ban her, people would spin that as silencing.
Mm-hmm.
You already know.
Yeah, exactly.
You already know.
I didn't even think about that.
Like, you silenced Richie. It all goes back to Richie, bro. It goes back to the Becky and SA thing, because this shit's bothering me so bad, because he banned Richie because he didn't want Becky and Richie in the same Discord because of the allegations. It would make, him look bad keeping the person who allegedly did this to Becky. But also, Becky made that similar type of claim, claiming that Review Tech USA abused her, right? She said that word. There are streams that exist. I covered it, where she literally said Review Tech USA abused her. Why do you have Review Tech USA, the man that Becky Boop accused of abusing her, was on the very first episode of Lolcow Queens as their launch episode, having Becky confront her abuser. And then later on, after that, Review Tech USA was invited to Keemstar's Discord, allowed to stay there, and was given his own show with his former editor, Jay, on Lolcow Tech. The man who your fucking employee, Becky Boop, accused of abusing her. You brought him into the Discord and gave him a show, Keemstar. I'm just saying. Make this make sense for me, please. Make this make sense. Yes, Becky is off the table. Make it make sense. Guys, do I have to repeat that? The very first Lolcow fucking Queens episode had Review Tech USA, her abusive ex that she had to be on the show with and have an argument about what happened, right? But you guys care about fucking victims and shit, right? It was a nothing burger, guys. You don't know what you're talking about, Ray. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. You're retarded. I'm retarded, guys. But does that sound retarded to you? Does that seem kind of weird to you? Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Y'all are the specialists. I'm just here. I'm just doing YouTube. I'm just covering the topic, guys. You tell me. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. But hey, guys, it's Becky.
Becky, you never really know what she's gonna do next. She's Becky, I'm a mess. A mess.
Hey, what can I say? What can I say? These are just facts. But we know how everyone likes to ignore facts on the internet.
Like I can ban her, right?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
That would make it 10 times worse, 100 times worse, bro. Don't do that.
I don't really look.
Shut
I'm
up,
not
Chris.
really the optics guy. I'm not trying to think of like what's the best PR move here.
Yeah.
What I think about is like what actually happened, what are the facts, and what is justice in the scenario. That's what I always go to.
Yep. Let me ask you this right now. Trying to delay. Have you spoke to the other person?
No.
Okay.
No, I will be doing that today.
Okay. Because I think that. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, obviously, I'm not happy with the other person, but I also know the other person was drunk out of their mind, and I'm asking myself, why wasn't the person drunk out of their mind taken care of? Because Wonder Woman was drunk out of her mind, and we all took care of her.
So why didn't you take care of the other? Hold on, pause. Excuse me. Why was that other person taken care of? They were obviously drunk. Wonder Woman was drunk. We took care of her. So then why didn't you guys? Here's Keemstar admitting the person that I now know who it is was obviously really, really drunk that night that this took place. Why wasn't she taken care of? Good question, Keem. You guys knew she was drunk. Why wasn't she taken care of? You guys took care of Wonder Woman. That's a good question. Oh, hold on. Okay, pause. I did pause a good time. Okay, Harley brought up a question. Hold on. What question? Okay. I mean, technically, Fat Camp was a company event, but that just begs the question on if after the shows went off air, does that mean that it's off company time or still on the clock? Because if it's off the clock, then wouldn't the workplace sexual harassment? Well, if it's on the clock until Fat Camp ended, then it 110% could be considered workplace sexual harassment. So if it's a work event, right? It's I would say that it's the whole event, right? I don't 100% know the legalities behind that. I'm not an expert at that. But I'm gonna say that I feel like maybe you could consider that a work event being the whole duration, especially if it's a tax write-off, right? So if Keemstar is legitimizing this business and it's a tax write-off, right? He can write this any expenses he paid as a tax write-off. It's the whole event. That means the entire time you were there. Like, okay, for example, when I had to go do training for a job I had, they flew me out and paid for all the expenses. They paid for my plane ticket. They paid for my hotel accommodations. And they also paid for our time, right? So that entire time we had a schedule from when we had to do our training. So it was 8 hours a day for the training, but that was something that they could write off on their taxes because it's business related, right? So when you own a business, anything you can write that's related to the business is a tax write off, right? So it really depends. If you have a business event, I guess you could consider that the entire duration being a work related thing because you're on the clock the whole time you're there. But I don't know because it's entertainment, it could be different. I'm just saying if it's a company event and something happens at a company event, I think in court you can say that it was on company's time. It was on their dime, right? But that's something you would definitely have to ask a business lawyer. I'm not a business lawyer. I'm just basing it off the little knowledge I do know about how businesses operate and some of the little I know legal side of it, but I don't know everything. So I'm not the person to really take that information and run with. Please don't do that. I'm just giving you information on what little I do know, but I would say if you really want to answer that question, definitely ask a lawyer and see if what I'm saying is correct, because I don't actually know 100%, if that makes sense. But that's a good question. That is a good question. And thank you, Lunchbox, for making sure I answer it. This whole one situation is now making us go back to the Savage situation, because that situation with Savage was BS, and Savage situation is making us look at the WW Wonder Woman situation. Listen, my thing with this whole thing is I don't think that a lot of this shit should be made into content. I don't think it should be discussed publicly. I think what happened at Fat Camp should have stayed at Fat Camp. It should have been handled behind the scenes. I think making any monetizing of all of this shit is disgusting. Personally, I think that it shouldn't happen. I think that this should never been brought to light. I do feel bad if that whoever made Wonder Woman uncomfortable, regardless if they're intoxicated or not, I think that was fucked up. But I do think that at the end of the day, this should have never been made public, and it just comes off as drama farming. And that's the sad part, is that it all comes off as drama farming. Worst company event ever. Who's the idiot running the LCU mess? Right? Because so much happened at Fat Camp, and that's why, like I said, the biggest problem with the LCU, Ken, because I'm going to address Ken, because Ken's like the haters. It's not that I don't hate the LCU. I hate what it's become. It had potential. I thought it was fun, but I hate what it's become. Now it's mostly just every single day these shows pop up, supposed to be about one thing, like, oh, let's do Lolcow nerds, and never talk about any nerdy shit and just focus on the drama between fucking all the shit going on in the LCU. Oh, let's do Lolcow Rewind is literally the only show I expected to be like this, because that was the purpose of Lolcow Rewind, is to do recaps on all the fucking drama that's going on in the LCU. It's basically supposed to be like an after show, right? So that one is the only show that makes sense. But every show now, it's just drama between the hosts. Milker's got beef with this person. This person did this. Now we got the Wonder Woman story. Oh my God, Savage got fired. Becky's fired, but not fired. She quit. She came back. She got fired again. She came back. Tina, she's leaving. She's done. She's coming back. Like, that shit's just fucking ridiculous at this point. It's ridiculous at this point. But this is serious shit now. This is all serious shit. The essay allegations, the whole sexual harassment claims, all of this shit, fucking Savage showing her vag, all this shit. It's like, this shit's not funny. This shit's not entertaining. It's just fucking sad to see a bunch of grown ass adults do nothing but do this high school bullshit. It's fucking weird. It's very strange.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
It is a good point.
Wonder Woman was drunk and kind of acting a fool, and we all took care of her, made sure she was safe, made sure she wasn't doing anything stupid, it's just like, dude, I hate that this has been framed like this.
I agree. I hate that it's been framed like this too.
It's framed in the worst way possible.
It is absolutely the worst entire way. It couldn't get any worse unless lies, obviously, but just with whatever the truth is being framed right now is the worst possible it could be. All right. You want to continue?
Yes.
I don't want to continue. I'm not going to lie. I want to get to the part that Keemstar talks about more to come, basically, is what he says after we get through this, that there is more to come. So let's get past all this, because I don't want to sit here and watch the rest of this. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, I don't want to watch the rest of this because I already watched it last night. Let's go back. Sorry.
say no. You said yes now, but initially you said no.
Yes. Is there something wrong with it? I didn't want to bother Keem.
Starting a story like that, and then
Did I go back
not saying, you know what I'm saying? Like it starts shit. Either like
obviously people perceive things differently. It's being framed right now as the worst possible it could be. All right, you want to continue?
Yes.
100%. But you don't think it bothers Keem by saying it live on air?
Yeah.
I guess we gotta watch it because I don't want to miss the part.
Excuse
By saying
me.
it live
I'm
on air,
so sorry.
What?
I have to do a call with another host who wants to drop even more tea. So this is going to be fun, guys.
Here it is. That's what I'm
you
gonna
can
say.
continue
Oh
the
my
stuff. I'll come
gosh.
back when I can. But like, bro, we're doing this on Cafe today. So if there's people in the Discord and they're talking about this situation, you should get them to come here because we got to clear the air on a bunch of stuff. And I'm gonna go get even more intel right now, and I will be back, Ken.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Batgirl,
Alright,
for hearing me
sounds
out.
good.
Yes, sir.
So another host apparently has more tea to spill. Lord, like, I fucking can't. As Ken would say, I can't. I can't. That's why Xylee and Billy were pissed last night because why would they be held to the constraints of the show name when every other show, including LCU, does rewind jobs before rewind airs? Right, exactly. 100%. 100%. Because that's literally what's happening, man. That's what the entire LCU became. Remember what I said the other night? Like that Lolcow Live like legitimately used to cover topics. Like they'd have the docket team write up all these hot topics for them to talk about and react to. And Keem would bring up clips and they'd react to it. Sometimes they talk about politics. They talk about all the drama outside of the LCU. But now they're just fabricating drama within the LCU. And like I've been saying, it's basically like low budget wrestling, but on YouTube. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing here, y'all. That's just what's going on, guys, in the fucking LCU. And everybody's talking about it because now everyone's pointing fingers at who could have been sexually harassing who. And I'm just sitting here like, this is a shit show and it's going to make them so much money. So I guess it works out. LCU still cover topics, but not like it used to. Not unless it's like a really hot topic where it's gonna generate a lot of views and it's like a trending topic. But like they used to cover just random shit topics, which was great because they would bring light some stories that you would have never probably heard of, or you'd see something floating around on the internet. Like that's what I liked about Lolcow Live. That's why I watched Lolcow Live. Now it's just a shit show, and now I'm starting to see people for who they truly are, and I just don't rock with it. And I know if they ever caught wind of it, I know already what they're gonna say about me. Right? She's just salty because she didn't get a job. Nah, it ain't about being salty. It's just, again, I've been doing this for a long time. This is what I do. I don't like fakeness. I'll call out fakeness. I always have, I always will. So say what you will about me. But at the end of the day, I'm not out here fucking literally making up stories on how I got assaulted and some crazy shit happening to me for fucking empathy so people can give me money. I just don't do it like that. That's not how I roll. It's not how I ever get down. I don't support anyone who does that. So that's just what it comes down to. So with that said, guys, that is the story. I will continue to cover it as more develops because I'm curious. Damn, they fucking sucked me right back in, man. When you think you're gone, they suck you right the fuck back in. So I guess we'll see what happens if there's more coming. Definitely want to see where this goes. And yeah, I guess that's basically it. But I hate docket shows. They get boring. I mean, I agree. That's why there have been people in the past who offered to do it for me. I was like, number one, I'm not big enough to have that type of stuff. And two, I like doing my own research and give my own takes, even if I don't 100% get it right. I at least love having these conversations because the chat, you guys, it's a conversation. It's not just entertainment for me. It's like, yes, I'm entertaining y'all, but I love the conversations. If I get something wrong, that's why I got y'all beautiful people in the chat to correct my ass, So I guess that's it. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have fun. Stay safe, stay merry, fuck this drama. I'm still gonna, oh my god, I fucking can't. Why do I keep putting the wrong fucking thing on? I always do that. So yeah, if you like this stuff, hit the like button. If you dislike this stuff, hit that dislike button. Either way, it's engagement. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new and you like this kind of content. And if you hated what you watched, please hit that unsubscribe button. If you have been subscribed, no love lost. Completely fine. I'm not that butthurt over people not watching me. So yeah, I do this all the time because I stall, because I'm trying to figure out how I want to end the show with a specific song, because I have plenty here. But I guess we'll just do the Becky Boop song. We'll end on Becky Boop. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
Like mud in her veins, spins tall tales, truth locked in chains. Keyboard warrior, digital disguise. Every word she spits, a buffet of lies. Becky Boop, Key's little pet pig. Snout in the drama, always taking big. Crime she invents, lies torn apart. Fake tail stitched in her black lacking heart. She snorts accusations, a cloud of deceit. Attacking livelihoods, no retreat. Her clout chase leaves a toxic trail. Truth's her enemy, she'll never prevail. Boop the soup, but it's poison she spits. Twisting the world for her viral hits. Keemstar's cheerleader, his drama queen. Dancing in the shadows, a puppet unseen. Her lies stack up like bricks in a wall, but it's fragile, cracks, ready to fall. Boop's house of cards, shaking in the breeze. Exposed in the light, she drops to her knees. Becky Boop, Keem's little pet pig. Snout in the drama, always digging big. Crime she invents, lies torn apart. Fake tail stitched in her black lacking heart. Black lacking heart. Black lacking heart. Becky Boop, Keem's little pet pig. Snout in the drama, always digging big. Crime she invents, lies torn apart. Fake tail stitched in her black lacking heart.